Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another CPT's video. And there was an interview today with Ian Hazakostas. It was on Discord. I think it was facilitated by Mr. GM. And surprisingly, there was actually a lot of PvP questions. Very interesting. What's up, Aaron? Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag, right? I think this interview is a bit of a mixed bag. There are some remarks that people, I think, on social media are upset about, and then there's some things they're doing next patch that are actually really good. I'm trying to figure out if we're going to be able to get
Who's here?
Oh, yeah, there
that interview on my
Hello?
stream here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Can you hear us?
Sorry, I literally had to boost the server so that I could have room to join the channel.
I gotta turn the volume up. Dude, I can't
That
hear.
was an unexpected technical issue, and we will look into this for the future. But thank you for boosting the server, Ian.
My pleasure.
Right, we are actually at time, so we can begin. Well, hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us today. As you probably have noticed, we are joined by a very special guest today. It's Ian Hazakostas, a senior game director for World of Warcraft.
Pleasure to
Hi,
be here.
Ian.
Looking forward to answering some great questions and talking to you all, hopefully the first of many.
Thank you. Just for the context, Ian will be answering questions that WoW ambassadors have collected from our partner Discord communities. Thank you all so very much for submitting your questions. We received over 350 questions. At least I stopped counting at 352, so there is probably more. So naturally, we had to summarize and combine some of the questions. Otherwise, we will be here for a week, and I don't think anybody wants that. And with that said, we can begin. Are you ready, Ian?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Do you think he's quiet?
The first question is about 8 weeks cadence. I know you have talked about it quite a lot in your
What's up,
recent
Rotaka?
interviews, but our players here want to know how committed is the team to this cadence long term, and how flexible are you if player feedback suggests certain seasons or content would benefit from a little more breathing room?
Yeah, this is a question we hear a lot. I'm glad it was asked. This is definitely not ironclad on our end. We are flexible.
Why is
The
it so
idea
quiet?
of patching roughly every 8 weeks is
I feel like
something
it's loud
that
for you guys, but
the
it's quiet
team
for me.
actually, set as a goal, as an aspiration in Dragonflight. Coming off a couple of expansions, Shadowlands notably, but really most expansions before that, where we had long stretches, many months, without any patch, without any update to the game. We heard very clearly from players that, the lack of content, frankly, wasn't acceptable for what people were looking for from subscribing to World of Warcraft. And so, we said, every 2 months feels like about right to do something significant, to change up the content loop, to add some new systems, to add some new gameplay.
What are you
It's
doing,
also a chance for us
JCs?
to fix bugs that are, larger.
Are you in
than
an
what we can
audio
just
loop
hotfix
with a
into the
video?
game. We don't want to keep those things active.
I mean, I'm listening to a podcast, basically. I'm listening to the interview that just happened talking about the game. How loud is it for you guys? I don't understand why it's so quiet for me.
But we've definitely heard from players, that at times it can feel a bit overwhelming. I think that's one of the challenges we have, designing for WoW in general. There's so many different approaches people take to the game, so many differences in, the amount of available time people have. And so, while one person may feel like they're running out of stuff to do, someone else is getting overwhelmed. I think back in, I want to say it was 11.1.5 in War Within, we tried for a patch or two kind of staggering out events. I think that was like Nightfall and Horrific Visions. We're like, well, we're hearing this feels like too much, so let's try spreading it out. Of course, people hated that. There were widespread complaints about time gating and whatnot, and we've tried to move away from that. So I think, we see the patch cadence as how frequently we're updating the client in a significant way. But then that doesn't say anything.
I mean, the problem is that they have different player bases, right? They have a player base that's... Some players are completely degenerate and will consume everything they put out immediately. And then we have other players who can only play for a couple of hours, and they fall behind to the degenerate players that can consume everything almost immediately, right? And the players who consume everything, they get bored once they've consumed everything, and they're likely to leave. So they put time gating in, so that the players who want to be degenerate can't be, and there's going to be something they're basically forced to wait to be able to make sure that they have something to go after, right? And then depending on the pacing, like that's the same reason why in Legion the shorter PvP seasons was really good for like me and people who play like for the end of the season Gladiator, but it was terrible for just the regular people who are even trying to just get the Vicious mount before the season was over. There wasn't enough time for them to actually get it. Now, to me, to be honest, I still think the shorter seasons were better, but they should have just increased the amount of honor that you get per week so that it's easier to finish, in that time frame, right? As opposed to going back to the longer seasons. I think the shorter seasons were better overall. It's just they needed to increase the acquisition of the rewards so that the average players can get the stuff they're going after. But I mean, the content cycle update is they're just adapting to what people are requesting, right? But then they adapt, and then there's some people who then that needs to be adapted to. It's like a Hydra and Hercules where you cut one head off and then two more heads come out of it.
Thing about the amount of content, the type of content, and who it's targeting that's being rolled out. And so I'd rather focus on, the details of that player-facing experience, where it feels like things aren't hitting the mark, if they feel unpolished, if they feel like it's just too much that people can't keep up. We're always listening for that, and we're always going to pivot based around that. But I think that the challenge here is that, all the data that we have suggests that this cadence is working for the majority of our players. Now, the problem with a game like WoW is that when you have so many players, even a minority is still quite a lot of people. We do pretty regular surveys across our community to understand how people feel about the game. And, we've specifically asked the question in these surveys, is the rate of content just right, too fast, or too slow? And what we've gotten back is that about 50% of people think it's just right, 25% think it's too fast, and 25% think it's too slow. And so it's challenging, it's hard for us to make a big pivot based on that data, but we do stay flexible, and if that changes, certainly if it starts to shift in one direction.
So they are making decisions based on analytics.
Adjust our approach.
Thank you for answering.
And I would also probably say that the 25% that think it's too slow or too fast are probably going to be the most vocal online, and the 50% who are just happy probably aren't. I think I might have been sent a survey in my email at some point. You'd have to check it. Ever Dream Just Plays. As a person with a lot of alts, I wish there was more conquest after unlock and more ways to get it. I want to just do purely arena or blitz to get conquest gear. And as awesome as crates are, you want to be able to get conquest from random BGs and stuff. Again, I think the only danger with that is similar to like Mythic Raids, right? When they started introducing good gear from delves, raid participation fell off a cliff relative to what it was before. And if you rewarded a significant amount of conquest outside of rated PvP, this then just becomes the path of least resistance to full gear. So I think more people would do it. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I think at lower rating, maybe there needs to be more scaling. Like your item level scales higher at low rating or something. So you can actually farm the gear in rated PvP. Because that's the whole point, is it's just meant to get you to play rated PvP. But then when you try and play it to get the gear, you're finding people that already have the gear. And because they already have the gear, you feel like we're very weak and can't get the gear. So it feels like, why can't I just get this from random BGs? But if you could get it from random BGs, I think there's a good chance that maybe you wouldn't do. But maybe you would. I don't know. The other reason to do rated PvP is the cosmetics. But the gearing loop is definitely, I think, flawed in that sense later on in the season. It works fine at the start. If you play a character and you play it every week along with everybody else, the system works great. If you start late, like you play PvE and then halfway through the season you switch to PvP, the system's terrible because you're just like 30 item levels lower than everybody else. If you can even figure out what you're supposed to do to gear up, because I don't think it's that obvious or straightforward to someone who's never done it to move into it. Nobody wants to raid past Heroic. It shouldn't be locked behind Mythic. I'm not going to lie. I think Mythic raiding should be cosmetic only. I don't think there should be any item level in Mythic Raid. I think Mythic Raid should just be cosmetic rewards only, and it's templated. I straight up, I think you should just go in and it's a challenge, you know, like mop challenge modes, or Mage Tower or whatever. Like, that's my opinion, at least. Mythic Raid shouldn't even be... No, you can go in day one and you're scaled and you're going to be able to do the challenge or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's tuned for the item level that it's templated to, and it's just a challenge mode. That's what I think Mythic Raid should become. It's obviously going to have way less participation, though, I think, utilized like that. I think it will. I wonder how many people would be upset also who do progress as a Mythic Raider, if they would be upset by that, because if you did that, now you can't just like outgear the raid anymore because it's templated. And a lot of PvEers get mad when they can't just outgear the raid. What's up, Chaos? We just got some characters into Elite. We just finished Monk. I got all the Monk specs except Brewmaster into Elite. So we're climbing the ranks right now for rank 1 multiclasser. We're listening to Ian Hazzikostas' interview because apparently some of the questions are really good. There were some really good answers. I feel like the whole, like, the PvP community, the justify effort comment was like somewhat uncalled for, because if they made the same type of reward based decisions that they made with PvP and Mythic Plus, it would also be cratering in participation. I feel like it's unfair to the mode to say that it's just less popular because it's 20 years old or something. It just seems like it comes across that way. When if Mythic Plus rewards were handled in a similar manner, it would have gone down in participation. Just the same. What rank am I trying to achieve? Well, in this Boomkin, we're trying to get to rank 1 range. If I can get to rank 1 range on this Boomkin, I might jump up to number 1 multiclasser NA, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to try to get that right now. Circle the Pop, I didn't actually answer the question. Well, it's like, I feel like PvP honestly doesn't really even require that much attention. You know what I mean? It's not like a dungeon where you have to build everything from the ground out. It's the same arenas, it's the same BGs. Like, all it takes is moving a tuning knob and moving an MMR number up and down. Like, I feel like the amount that costs for what it gets you is an insanely good ratio relative to what it costs you to, like, do some PvE content. You know what I mean? Even if it's a smaller number of players. Just keeping 1 or 2 people that just move the numbers up and down on spells and make sure that people can get rewards, and you almost don't even have to do anything outside of that. Oh, I have to fight Jobby, bro. Where's Jobby going, dude? Is he stream sniping? You guys think that Paradise 1 would stream snipe me? Missed on the Hunter here. For some big burst. So the guy is an aggressive evoker. He's already walled and spamming Chrono Flames. Trying Shadow Meld to sleeps. He grips me in on clone. Try to go for the clone again. Take the kick. He blinds the clone too, but we'll skin this. Disarm him. Gotta dispel this silence in a second. Looks like we're going DK, but I'm not sure. So pump him a bit. Try and go for clones again. For clone. I feel like we should be going Hunter. Also need to be getting some hexes. Oh, my root beam fucked up because he pre-Verdant Embrace immuned it in the middle of it. Dodge this. Kind of hitting Hunter because he's outside of the range of the evoker's healing. Let's pop some off heals. Knock everything away. Try and go for a clone. Clone. We might trinket here because it's the shaman's cooldowns. We might win still. Oh, come on. No way, dude. Okay, we get dots back. Have skin soon. Kicked me. Gotta be careful. We're getting AoE'd a lot here. That's where we're standing and the Hunter just sitting in the back. I'm gonna skin this. AMS's so I can't clone. We'll just stun him. Try and fake kicks. I think I got one. I'm not sure though. I got one there. Clone the healer. Hunter came in. Big deeps here. Try and line of sight the fire breath purge if he has it in the trank shot. I don't really want to clone immune here. I got big damage in a second. I gotta go now. Oh, I might just die. I don't know if DK is the guy, but I don't know, man. We did way more damage. We just done Immortal Strike, and we didn't press Hex. I think we need Hexes. We just need more CC. Well, they canned the templates because there are some people who play PvP, which might be the majority of people. They play PvP because they like their character getting stronger, and they go one-shot people in random battlegrounds. That's how most casual people who play the game play the game. They literally just play to get full epic gear so they can go in random battlegrounds and one-shot people. I think it's a toxic way to play the game, but if that's the majority and you want to cater to how they play the game, then that's going to be what you're going to do, right? I gotta line the hunter here. We're just not using Hex. Like, I don't know why enhancement shamans think they can just win the game spamming Storm Strike and not hexing. I gotta run here. He's got AMZ down. Okay, we got a Hex. Hey, Deep's here. Like, we should be getting hexes on everybody, bro. That's our only thing that's good about our comp, is that we have Hex and we have Clone. And they don't have enough kicks to stop everything. Wild Growth blinds me. Clone Hunter, I'm kicked. Like, we should be playing short Hex. We should just be spamming Hex. They should have like 0 pressure. This is actually insane. Alright, we got Hunter Trinket there. I just line this guy and do damage to DK. We eventually win like this. They can't stop everything. Try to get behind the pillar. Hodges me. Disarm the hunter. Try and call the hunter. Touch the DK and beam him so he can't use butts. Good Hex. See, this is very good, very good. Can do a full clone. Although he's getting a trap. I'm still in trouble. Knock everything away. Paraform. MZ. Coming way close to killing now that we're actually using it, but we might be out of time. God damn, bro. You can just run at me. I'm dead. I'm just permanently stuck in bear. Trying to get across the map. Oh my god, bro. Just trying to live to the shaman's next one shot. This is my only chance. He land-handsed it. My only chance is gone. Oh. Surely the shaman is trolling me. We haven't casted a Hex for like, I don't even know how long. We just like randomly swapped to their healer for some reason. Oh my god, bro. Guy is just full Zug brain. And 0 hexes. I mean, they've definitely segregated the community, but that was at the request of the community, right? PvPers asked for that too. PvPers didn't want to do dungeons. Right? Like, it's both groups wanted to request that separation. I think one thing is just having a clear reward track for PvP so people can actually see what they can get, because like you have no idea, it's completely invisible. I think making the rewards more attainable for average players is very important too, so that they get in and they don't just feel like, what's going on? I suck. I can't get anything, you know? Like, they should go in and have a decent progression like PvE. Like, I don't care what the top players say of like, oh, you're handing out the rewards or whatever. Who gives a shit? We're past that. Like, we need some people just getting in and like spamming some buttons in PvP. If giving them a little bit more of an incentive because the rewards are a bit easier, gets them in, I'd rather do that than continue what we're doing. He wants to go the DK again. I'm very much so confused. Lock his Chrono Flame. Why is the Enhancer Shaman like hiding behind a pillar? It's very hard to clone anything against this. Bash this. Knock everything. We're stunned. Can't stop sleep. Clone him. There's a freaking grounding. This is an Ellie or an Enhanced Shaman? But now he's using Hex. Doomwinds are in trouble. Ugh. Kick his sleep. Just trying to live the doomies. Got some gloomies. Skin this. Trying to get kicks here while he's got Shroud. God damn, bro. Shroud is just up the whole game. Kill the grounding. I'm clone him low. Hit the shaman. We got wall. Try and clone him low. Sheared me. Stunned. Oh, let me play the game, man. Pop a heal here. Try and clone the shaman. We got turtle. He comes in for sleep. Clone him. Shaman isn't a wall. We can kill shaman. I don't know if I should bash offensively or not here. We're going to. Kill the grounding. Sounds. Run. Get a heal up. Find the hunter. We're gonna go DK though. Kicks me. I'm shaman low. Kicked. Cap. Dead. Doomwinds. Doomwinds, please help me. It's Doomwinds. I can't do anything. Please help me. Use CD on Doomwinds. That's all we have to do. Dispel my cap. I won't die. Use CD on Doomwinds. And you will win the game. Grip him down off me, whatever it is, where you will win the game. My teammates just do nothing and let me die to Doomwinds. We love it, boys. We love it. I peel every go before that for my team. My team does this is nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Clone healer. I don't know why he's not trinketing that. That's his whole go, but okay. Stun disarm. Just go for cast. If they kick it, our healer gets sleeps. Shadow meld. Clone the healer. Big deeps. I wish that this was a viable strat, but the DK thinks that I can somehow just push on a hunter without ever cloning him. Take out Gregory, maybe. And clone him low before he heals him. Clone Pally. Incarn. As if his little disease damage with no mortal strike is going to kill him 100-0 or something. I don't know why the shaman is just running away like this. One shaman. Get off heals up. Another wall. Clone the tremor. Kill the tremor. I have to clone the hunter here. He has wings up. I don't want to hear the DK complaining. I clone him on his go. Knock him and root him. Shaman trinkets that, we'll stun him. Stun him now. Try and go for a clone. Got magic pop. Kill grounding. Go for clone and pally. Fake this. Clone and pally. Trying to finish. Good sleeps on the shaman. Regrowth up. Silence bear. Frenzy this. For clones on pally. Kicks it. Any damage here? Is it grounding? I'm stunned. I just love not playing the game, dude. Oh. Grouping the pally. He's got pony time. Sheer. Have to run. It's just gonna be shaman cooldowns in a second, and I'm gonna auto die to Doomwinds. Here it is. Auto death. Disarm. Triggered instantly. He trapped his one shot. Lol. He was about to one shot my healer, I swear. On me, mum. I'm not making it up. Ash this guy. I swear he just trapped his win. The shaman was gonna one shot my healer. Show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome as a foundational principle championed by Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett. Well, exactly. The thing is back in vanilla, back in older versions of the game, the gear was the best gear. Like Grand Marshal gear was good gear. Look at TBC Classic. When TBC Classic re-released recently, everyone was spamming Alteric Valley. Did Alteric Valley just suddenly become a better content and everyone loves PvP? No, because it gave you the best gear to level with. It's like whatever gives you the best shit has the highest participation. It's not because there's lack of interest. That's like saying that there's genuine interest in the things that have high participation. It's like, no. It's just that gives the best stuff. And people want the best stuff. Like, hello? Oh, we're gonna get clobbered here at the trinket. Knock him off. Root him. I gotta go ham as hell here, dude. Lock his holy light. Big deeps. I'm gonna pull him away from their healer here in a second. Got another wall. Let's go ham. Just hammer damage. Let them sleep and trap if they go you. If they don't go you, then clone. But just hammer damage down. That grounding's really annoying. This guy plays like an Ellie Shaman, I swear, as enhance. I'm in trouble in a second. Good rescue. Jump, knock everything away. Skin this. He deeps. Trying to clone pally. He bubbled it. We're gonna get one shot in a second. Mash him. Disarm him. Jump and root his jump. Try and kite this. Keep Trents out. Big eclipse here. Kill his grounding. Just pump damage. Luck Hex. Can't off heal either now. Pump damage. I'm in trouble. Die in a pet stun. Oh, thank God. Yes, I bet you time walking has crazy participation. Is that because time walking is actually good, or is it because it's just the fastest way to level? If they just made Battlegrounds give you the best experience to level, Battlegrounds would be the highest participated content for leveling. Like, it's just insane to me that you can, like, assume that something is genuinely good just because it's high participation. And that's the only thing. You can't make that assumption. People do stuff for efficiency. And it's always been like that. People just weren't very good at identifying what was the most efficient thing. This guy says, why are you throwing my rounds? I'm not throwing any rounds. What do you mean? You didn't use CDs on Doomwinds. What do you want from me? I peeled every Doomwinds, except for the one that I couldn't peel, which I needed a CD. Bash this. He'll probably trinket because it's I'm really surprised he's not trinketing that on his Doom Winds. Just pull him around the corner. It's a little harder because we don't have Sleepwalk. I will kind of have to clone against this. Or at least attempt to. It's not as simple as it was with the Evoker on my team. Baby Eclipse. Looks like they're going Hunter instead. They probably should. But if they do, I need to clone. Cloning Shaman. I've just tanked every single kick. And there's probably a grounding coming soon as well. I also trying to Incarn here. Big burst. Clone him again. I gotta be careful with cloning too much on the Shaman because I won't be able to clone his Doom Winds. Shadow Meld this. Try and clone the healer. Even precog. Oh, this is not good. Try and clone him again. He's about to pop his Doom Winds, I think. He just grounded and strangulated, so it makes me think he wants to go. Try and clone the Shaman on it. Clone his Trinket. I can't because I got blinded. Disarm it. I'm slept. Bash it. Okay, we live Doom Winds is the main window that I need to CC. Just hit whatever's in line. Trent's on him, big damage. Don't hit the guy that's turtling, just hit the other guy. Okay, we gotta get through kicks again. I got through it. Clone healer. Kill the grounding. Try and clone Shaman now. Kicks it. Big Eclipse. Clone Shaman. Can't stop Sleepy Zorid. I'm gonna clone kick me. Tanked all the kicks again. He stuns. I don't think he has trap though. I'm gonna clone the DK low. Oh my god, how does he have another kick? Clone DK low. I'll probably trinket it, I would anticipate. We're probably dead. Clone Shaman again. Clone healer. Big Eclipse here, win. Grounding Tone, you'll probably pop Doom Winds with that. Cap Totem, trinketing this. There's Doom Winds, disarm it. I can't clone it. No clones. Rebeam it. Just trying to get the Shaman off of him. Pumping the DK. Like the first 2 rounds we should have won. The Shaman doesn't have Hex on his bar. Like we should have won the first 2 rounds. And then the other round we just didn't use cooldowns on the last Doom Winds. We 100% would have won both rounds if the Shaman was just spamming Hex on Healer and Hunter the whole game. And playing short Hex. I don't know what the hell this is about me throwing the rounds. Time walking is not good content. Well, it's just degenerate efficiency, right? It's just turning your brain off and having the dopamine go off while you're dinging levels and, you know, and it's just efficient. But it's not necessarily successful because it's popular. Like pet battles would have had higher popularity than time walking dungeons if pet battles gave you the fastest XP. I mean, look at this earthen strategy, right? Is flying around the world getting XP from just flying around the funnest way to level? Probably not. People just do it because it's fast. BGs gave good XP in Dragonflight, and then they removed that. So it's like, I don't understand, man. Like, to me, it seems like you're sabotaging PvP, right? Like, BGs gave decent XP. You could actually, it was still slower than doing dungeons, but it wasn't, like, unviable. It was great. You could just level in alt and battlegrounds, and then you'd be max level and you'd have a full set of PvP gear if you wanted to. But that's not the case for some reason. They removed that now. I don't know if it's because the participation was looking too good on battlegrounds or something. I don't know. But that was a viable way of doing it. But I mean, the only advantage of WoW PvP being tied into an MMORPG is basically forced participation. That's the only advantage, right? That's the only advantage you have, because otherwise it's just disadvantage. People have to pay a lot of money to be able to access it. People have to spend a lot of time doing activities that they might not want to do to be able to play like a battleground or play an arena, right? There's a lot of lead up into it. That's the disadvantage of being incorporated in an MMORPG ecosystem. The only advantage is that you can force people to do it. I don't get it. Like, it's crazy to me. But like how many people would do, like, I guarantee, like, the core duel, how much time do they spend on this? The core duel queue time, it says 3 minutes now. That's actually not too bad. When I did try to do this before, it was like 50 minutes. I don't know if that's a lie or not, but I swear the last time I tried to do it, it was 50 minutes. But would anybody be playing the core duel if it didn't give you a bunch of unique cosmetics? Probably not, because again, rewards drive everything. Exactly. As soon as you get everything from the content, you don't do it again. I do think the PvEers scream their head off, but the thing is like you can do it in a way where it's not better than the PvE route, but it's still good. But again, that's disadvantaging PvP's participation. It's still like that's a hindrance to PvP to do that by being a part of the game like that. It's no it feels like it's no benefit of being a part of the MMO space at this point. Whereas like back in vanilla WoW, Grand Marshal gear was just good gear. So if you wanted the gear, you had to do it. You had to PvP. Like, to me, it just seems like it's just a total disadvantage to be WoW PvP integrated into a system that hates it. Like, the PvEers don't want to be forced to do it. And then the people who do want to play it feel like it's inaccessible because it's gatekept by MMORPG concepts. Like, well, how are you going to build an audience? Your core audience that wants to play it for the sake of playing it find it inaccessible. And then the people who you could force to do it will scream their heads off if you force them to do it. I don't understand how you win in that system. Like, that's just a losing system. What's up, CB Top Man? Like, you'd be better off spinning a PvP tournament realm that is just max level. You log on, you can buy anything that you want. You queue up arena. It's seasonal gameplay like Call of Duty. You have someone hired to just tune numbers and readjust metas of classes and change pacing periodically. It can't cost that much to do this. Like, I don't know, because what else are you gonna do? Because to me, it's just a disadvantage to be part of WoW. It used to be an advantage. It used to be an advantage to do it, but now it just seems like you're just gonna gatekeep people from playing it, and you constantly have to balance whether a PvE player is gonna be upset or a PvP player is gonna be upset. It just seems like at that point, it's like, why are they even together? Like, to me, if you're a PvEer who wants to try PvP, you're probably going to try it in the second half of the season because you've done all your PvE achievements, right? Like, that's your priority, right? Like, if a PvE player was actually going to do it, they would want to get their raid achievements, get their dungeon achievements. And, you know, a lot of the cutting edge players do get that done. And then they're going to try PvP. But that's the worst time to try PvP in a season. So this is your one opportunity to get a new player into PvP. And they're going to try it at the worst time to try it because your gear sucks. Like, when you try to convert into PvP, your gear sucks. And if they don't understand the trinket bonus or where to get the trinkets, they're going to play at that massive distance. So they're going to go in and they're going to get rocked. And then because they get rocked, not even necessarily because they're bad, but because their gear is bad, they're just going to be like, fuck this. Why would I bother? Does he read YouTube chat? I do, yeah. I do a pretty bad job of reading messages in general, but I do read it. Why would I play Arena on a separate server? I can't show my glad mount all to the other PvEers. Yeah, it takes a long time to grind Conquest. I don't understand why either. Because like, they solved the issue of why they did that, why it took a long time to get Conquest later in the season. And it was because people would make 300 alts and take all the rank 1 spots. But they fixed that because now the cutoff extends. So you don't have that problem. Let the sweaty tryhard that wants to make 300 enhancement shamans because they don't do anything else with their time do it. And then other regular people can just get the gear to get into the game. I don't mind the gear taking a little bit of work at the beginning, right? Like, it's time gated, you gear up your character, you feel the progression. But then at that cutoff point in the season, just buck wild it, bro. Here's all the conquests. Make whatever you want. You want to switch to PvP and try it, boom, get in. Like, because that's when the PvEers are going to try it. Right now is when the PvEers are getting bored of PvE, and they're either going to unsubscribe or try different things in the game. So you don't want PvP to be inaccessible to them at that period of the season. That's why. Because that's when they're going to try it. The Vizier, thank you for the 13 viewer raid. And I've seen PvEers who try to end up liking it occasionally, depending on how it's done, right? Like, I don't know. I like what they're doing with CC. Let's try moving the DR to make that more approachable. I really like that they're changing the slows. That has been an issue since BFA when they rewound it from Legion. It literally took that long. I've been so annoyed about snares since Legion was over and they decided to revert all their PvP changes from Legion. I've been so annoyed by that because it's actually insane how slow you move. If anything functioned like that in PvE, where you walked that slowly for as long as you do in PvP, my God, they would lose their shit. Like, you wouldn't even be able to walk to the dungeon because you're slower than RP walking. So, I don't know. But definitely making it more accessible for them to get gear. I need to be right back. I don't know if I agree with PvP being hard to learn. Like, the mechanics of the classes are the same as boss mechanics. Like, you need to know their defensive mechanic, offensive mechanic, and their CC abilities. The same way you would in a dungeon. Like, oh, this mob fears us, so we got to stop fears. Oh, this monster stuns us, so we got to be ready for the stuns. Okay, this monster empowers itself with this cooldown, so we need to get ready for that. You see how it's actually the same? It's just the only difference is that the players are activating these exchanges, right? It's not activated by the NPC. It's literally the same. You just need to know what is the elemental shaman boss mechanics. Oh, he can wincher, he can interrupt me on a low cooldown, so I got to be worried about avoiding his interrupts. And his Stormkeeper makes him do a lot of damage, so when he does that, I got to be ready to run or to do something to reduce damage. This is why I don't understand why everybody's like, it's so hard to learn everything. No, it's just hard because you keep saying it's hard, but it's actually the same as PvE. I do think, like, maybe DPS shouldn't have as much agency in their own survivability, and it should be healers that have that. Like when you think about the game in the older iterations, like your healer's the reason you stayed alive, not so much yourself. Like if you look at Kata or Wrath of Lich King, like the most of the heavy lifting to keep you alive was your healer. But now you have a lot of agency on your own survivability, right? Like it's almost 50-50, right? It's literally 50-50, whether or not it's a DPS or a healer that the DPS survives. And it's the same thing in PvE. And healers complain about it all the time because the healers see you dying and know that you're dying and want to press the button for you, but they can't. So, like, what's an appropriate level of player agency to survivability across the whole game? Like PvE or PvP? Like, should it be 50-50? Because then at that point, like, the healer, you know, what is the purpose of the healer? You say the toxicity. I think the default setting in PvP should literally be, like, the chat is just turned off. But you say that, but I swear people are toxic in Mythic Plus. I swear they're toxic in Mythic Plus. But people do Mythic Plus because it gives you shit tons of gear and easy to get mounts that are cool looking. And I bet the Mythic Plus seasons that don't have cool looking mounts, or they randomly made really hard to get stuff, that have the lower participation. I mean, fundamentally, everyone's main concern as an average player is, I need to get all the FOMO rewards before they're gone. Right? Like, I need to finish Legion Remix before I can't get the Ashara dress and the variant sword. I have to get it done before I, like, right? Like, it's like you're literally, it's urgency to get collectibles. That's the main, like, one of the main driving factors. There's other things. That's one of the main driving factors. It's just, I got to get the collectibles. I got to get this. This is really cool. I got to get, like, it's like the fear of not getting it that's driving the participation. What toxicity are you experiencing in PvE or PvP? Also, if you're doing 20s, you're probably not pugging. Also, like, everyone says it's the toxicity. I've never seen more people getting banned than ever before. Like they're definitely doing something about it, and people still say it is. I bet so many people self-censor themselves now because they've been banned like multiple times. Yeah, no, I think that is an issue. When you lose a game, you don't understand what went wrong. I agree with you 100%. You lose a game and you're just like, I don't understand what happened or what to do better next time, for sure. And like that sense of aimlessness as far as what you can direct to improve next time is a deterring factor for a player. Like, it would be nice if it gave you a breakdown at the end of the game, like when you died, your healer was in a polymorph. You can use interrupts to prevent polymorphs or reduce damage when your healer is crowd controlled with defensives to survive. You know what I mean? Like a little quick tip when you died. But I also think having a journal, you know, like we get dungeon journals, right? Like they tell you the boss mechanics, they show you everything that he does, and maybe they don't do that anymore. Yeah, they do it. Like look at this. Like if you're a damage dealer, it's like, okay, you know what this guy's going to do, these things. Why not just have a PvP journal? It would take no time at all. I could AI generate one with no fucking expense at all to do that. And be like, here's the Frost Mage journal. Here's their key abilities and what they do and what you can do to combat it. It would like, this is not a fucking expensive thing to do. Maybe it is because you're a corporation and you think that you need to spend a lot of money to do it, but I swear it's not. The community would probably make it for free if you just pay someone to find a way to put it into the game. I swear, like, why? You don't even need to really update it because it doesn't really change. Like, here's the Mage Journal, Polymorph. You want to interrupt this and be aware when a teammate is in it because they're unable to do anything. It looks like this icon. Well, it's just like, it's like one of those things. I mean, the participation is going to go down as long as people don't know what the rewards are in the game, like the existing rewards right now. The only reward that they actually hyped up related to this expansion was the Glad mount. And they intended to make it more accessible, but it didn't. It was more inaccessible than ever. So the one mount that they focused on, literally no one in the game could get it for like months. And they didn't highlight any of the other things you can get. Just the mount that literally nobody can get. This is at the beginning of the expansion. Like, they made trailers of the Gladiator mount and showing how cool it is and trying to incentivize people to go after it. But at the end of the day, it was like the rating was so stifled, there's no way anybody could get it. You literally had to be WAS to get the Glad mount for like months. So like, what was the point of highlighting that mount when the system was set up for nobody to even get it for like months? They consider anyone who logs in doing PvE as a PvEer? Oh, you mean like Delves versus Mythic Plus versus Quests? Did you make a video going over all this stuff? No, I didn't yet. Maybe we should. Should we? Do you want me to make a video going over everything that they talked about? There's actually like a written version of the interview that we could look at if you want to. You guys wanna go through the interview with me? We can go through something. We can look at what they said and try and decipher everything that's going on. Oops, I turned myself off. I usually only do that to the ladies. Where are we going? All right. Where's my video webcam? Okay, we'll make a video here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Supatees video. And there was a very thorough interview that just happened with the game director, Ian Hazzikostas, and many other members of the WoW community. And quite a lot of actually very important questions were asked and answered in this interview. And it was very hard to find it because it was done over Discord. However, Wowhead has a written copy of it here that we're going to go into all of the nitty-gritty details to see what's going on in the engine and what's going on under the hood and what is Blizzard's thoughts at the moment with everything that's going on with the game and the direction for its future. And if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, educational and entertaining content, then make sure to smash that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. So the first topic of discussion was the 8-week content cadence. So if you played WoW as long as I have for 20 years, you would know that sometimes you could go a year to 2 years with no content, right? You want to know the thing that kept the game going in those droughts? PvP. Always been valuable as far as keeping WoW going over the long term. Just want to highlight that. However, in this discussion, let's see what they have to say. With regards to the 8-week cadence, it is brought up a lot, and it's not ironclad on Blizzard's end. The idea was initially a goal of Dragonflight coming out of expansions with long stretches of content drought, which players were clearly unhappy with. Every 2 months felt about right, both from a content and a bug-fixing perspective, though they acknowledge that it has grown to feel overwhelming for others. This is similar to in Legion when they reduced PvP season duration. It was great for players like me, who like playing for the end of the season Gladiator push and really like that final week, which to me is like, that's like the all-time high period to play in a PvP season. But most average players weren't able to keep up with that cadence of rewards on such a fast cycle, and they just felt like they couldn't keep going. So they decided to scrap that shorter season of play. I kind of think the solution could have been to just increase the rate of honor and conquest so players can get the rewards faster, and there's just more for them to go after. I would have personally have preferred that, but there's a lot of like FOMO, right, that tries to grab everyone's attention every patch. You want to get all the Mythic Plus mounts. You want to get all the raid mounts before they're all gone. You want to get all the PvP stuff before it's all gone. Maybe there's some world content stuff or some remix content or something else, right? Everything is FOMO in the current game, which drives participation. It drives incentive because everybody's like, I got to get this before it's gone. But now you're pulled in 20 different directions and you only have 2 months to get all of it before it's gone. So maybe it's just too much FOMO is maybe what people are more, you know, like more content's great, but don't make it content that disappears after 2 months because there's too much of that, and people are getting pulled too many ways to be able to actually feel like they can get all of it. And then when they don't get something, they feel like they're falling behind and there's less purpose for them to continue. That'd just be my thought. They tried staggering content out more during the War Within, which of course players hated on the time gating. So they've tried moving away from much time gating. This is another thing. There's groups of players who they just want to jump in and get everything done ASAP. But what's interesting is there is time gating. The Omnium Folio has time gating, right? Weekly until you get the next trinket of it or whatever, and you upgrade it down. There's a little bit of time gating with that regard, but they don't want to do it too much as they used to in the past, because it's going to be the main criticism from some players who just want to blow through it, get it done, and then do the content they want to focus on, right? Like for a lot of players, this new content getting added just becomes an inconvenience, taking their attention away from their Mythic Plus pushing, or taking their attention away from their PvP pushing or their raid pushing, because I think a lot of players have been spliced out into their given content roles, and they want to be as competitive in those content roles, and whenever they're forced to move away from that and they're doing something that's irrelevant to their progression there other than their character getting stronger, it pulls them in a bad direction overall. Currently, data supports the idea that this cadence fits the majority of their players best, though. It is a tricky balance between players who always want more and players who are easily overwhelmed. I think the stat that Ian cited in the interview was that 50% of people actually like the current pacing, 25% think it's too slow, and 25% people think it's too fast. So they're obviously going off analytics here, right, to keep this current system, to try and keep it fair and unbiased. And they actually just said that here based on their surveys, that exact point. I think the current content pacing is okay. I think if it's ever an issue, you just accelerate the rewards, right? You just make you get more currency faster or something like that. And then you can pump out more content. In that regard. Now, developer communication. Now, this one has been a big one, right, amongst the PP community, but this will probably be more broad. Communication is sometimes about informing people about what's going on in the game. Other times it's about sharing philosophy, and sometimes it's just about hearing from the passionate people shaping the world. There are hundreds of developers, and it's unfortunate that players tend to only hear from a few select individuals. Blizzard has tried to expose more players to specific artists and developers who create the world, and Ian would love to find out who you want to hear from next. More Q&As are absolutely on the table. I mean, from the PvP community, I think we would really like a PvP Q&A, right? Maybe talking about the World PvP Zone, the new Epic Battleground, and like, were there any lessons learned there, and any possible future iterations for it towards the future, or reward systems and things like that, for sure, right? But I mean, most of these interviews are done with Ian. I only assume that because, one, he's very well media trained, and he's been doing this for a very long time. So like, if you're just someone who works at Blizzard, you might not be media trained. You're on camera, and you know, it could be awkward. You might not want to do it, type of deal. So I'm trying to think of who have we not heard from that would be willing or actually want to step into this type of position, right? Because you get the spotlight on you, right? And not always necessarily a good thing. Unfortunately, sometimes when they try to fix an abusive, there's collateral damage that breaks accessibility tools. They've been trying to invest in meaningful ways of improving the baseline experience that you don't need to download as many add-ons for the sake of accessibility. The one-button rotation, more text-to-speech options, auto-unlock steady flag, ping system improvements, and mouse over voice elements in 12.1. So I think this is the community who have disabilities feeling like they're not being listened to, because the fight to remove add-ons has definitely impacted them significantly. So I think that's probably where this is mostly directed at. But I think also just the raid frame in general in PvP right now, when you have a Resto Druid, for example, and they have a lot of heal over time effects that occupy a lot of buff slots on the raid frame, or you face an Affliction Warlock that have a lot of debuffs that occupy frame space, or Death Knight or an Assassination Rogue with diseases and poisons and bleeds, the raid frame becomes unreadable. And I saw them recently implement the retail raid frames into Classic, and Classic players are mad about that because their UI is not operating as the way that they would have previously liked to with these buffs, because you either can't track the important buffs or debuffs, or you can't see the health bar with the current default settings that I have experienced with retail. So I'd like to hear something in regards to that, just because it is actually very significant in those situations. 12.1 is also improving the add-on API in ways that increase security, but also restore functionality for tying sounds to gaining and losing buffs. Gladiator Losa might come back, if that's true. I guess we'll have to see. Guilds and player agency. Guilds are an important aspect of World of Warcraft. There are millions of people out there, and they want to make it easier for players to connect with each other. Ian is very excited about the Discord integration coming in patch 12.1, which starts with chat integration, but they hope it will grow into much more. The goal isn't simply to try to copy what Discord already does for players with its own in-game tool, though, so they'd love to hear what other community features players would like to see. I feel like connection, this is always the biggest issue. Like from a PvP standpoint, the biggest issue is I get from my stream from people is how do I play threes? How do I go for Gladiator? How do I make a team? Like they play LFG, which feels like swiping on Tinder, and it's just one and done, and and there's no actual commitment, there's no actual growth that's necessary in order to one, get that satisfying experience, but also to be able to get the rewards that are available from those group-oriented pieces of content. I always recommend players go onto the WoW forums and make posts and list their experience, their class, what classes they're looking to play with, what experience they're looking to play with, and times and schedules, and leave it there for people to apply to. I kind of feel like they already kind of have that with the forums. Like they could have built that into the forums. I don't know if building that into Discord is necessarily much better than what they already have for accomplishing that. Player agency has been a touchstone of Blizzard's design philosophy for the past 5 years or so, giving players the freedom to play the game they want to, such as not requiring them to do specific pieces of content in order to do the thing they actually enjoy. If you're not enjoying it, it won't feel like Blizzard is respecting your time. They put more effort into parallel progression tracks with things like delves for solo players to supplement dungeons and raids. There's still value for players who want to engage in multiple, but each should feel fairly sufficient. Again, it's kind of path of least resistance, right? A lot of players, they don't mention solo shuffle here, but that was actually a great example of them doing it for PvP. So you didn't have to find teammates. You could just play shuffle or play Battleground Blitz and just get into the content without having to form a group, which I think is the main hindrance for a lot of people, is having the social network, the social capacity, and the time to actually organize things and get into group content. I think is becoming increasingly difficult as the WoW player base ages, and if they're not getting any significant source of young players to compensate for that. So this is kind of just a necessary overtime tweak to that reasoning. I do wonder if it ever gets to the point where they would almost entirely scrap raiding if not enough people actually have the time to be able to build the groups together, and it just becomes a much like Diablo where you can just go into the content with any group size you have, because then at that point you're not limited, or and you're not going to spend as much time forming groups. I do wonder if it eventually becomes that or not as time passes. Individual narratives are much harder in a shared world. There's a powerful fantasy in feeling like your choice affects the world around you, but that's extremely hard to do for millions of players simultaneously. They try to add custom text and NPC reactions based on player choices, but at the end of the day, it's a shared world with the same quest bosses and cinematics, so that's a major limiting factor. The developers would love to find ways to build content where individual choices matter, but it's just an inspiration for now. I would have always loved if they implemented some war mode feature where you attack certain bases in older zones of the game and can flip them to Horde or Alliance. I mean, similar to what they did in Hellfire, but again, people only do it if there's a significant incentive and benefit to doing it, like conquest or gear or whatever it is, and as soon as that incentive is gone, usually the participation goes with it. One of the things they've looked to do is make it easier to find and visit each other's homes and add more reasons to do so. They're working on a housing showcase where players can list their homes in a browsing search way. They're releasing pets in 12.1. They want to do mounts and mannequins to show off transmogs in the future. This is telling me that they're aware that the participation is going to go down, and they're trying to figure out ways to not have that happen. They're considering adding profession hooks, but they want to be careful about that in case it feels mandatory. There's a lot of challenges with hunter pets due to the system being warband wide, whereas hunter pets are tied directly to a single quest. So this is interesting to see this. I'm interested to see how this plays out, because I think that the player housing in WoW is the best player housing of any MMO. I played some RuneScape. I tried Final Fantasy. I think the level of customization and what's available to you right now and the features they're adding to it ongoing are the best. Like, it's the pinnacle of player housing of any game, and I'm still worried that its participation is going to go down over time unless they compel you to do it. And it seems like in this post they are a bit wary to do that, because they know for people who don't want to do it, they're going to get upset. But then if you make it trivial, like just go to your house and just don't do anything, just go to your, like, it gets like, what? It just seems trivial at that point, for the sake of just doing it. And then if you use that as a metric to say participation is high, I feel like that's greatly unfair. But I'm very curious to see how it plays out, because I think it is one of the best housing features, but I think it's going to struggle the same as other parts of the game, maybe PvP, where if the incentives aren't there for it relative to other content, that its participation is likely to go down. Changing other reputations to be warband wide is a very manual, painstaking process, and so it would take a lot of time. They're working on improving the workflow here. It's taken longer than they would have hoped, and they're still committed to it. So this is taking up to change reputations to be warbound. So taking retroactive reward structures and then making them modern. There's a balancing act to making class changes that feel impactful and meter moving, but not so large or unexpected that they cause the player to log in and no longer recognize their class. So talking about like community feedback as far as class changes. And I kind of agree with that, like within a patch, not making anything like excessive. And we can see that with the gameplay decisions they're making with the next one. Now, this is the big one that I think people are talking a lot about on social media: growing the PvP population. Ian admits that there have been inconsistencies with MMR, and this has been one of the main factors to participation for PvP. I almost guarantee you Shadowlands Season 1 was the highest participation possibly of all time for rated PvP for multiple reasons. One was the pandemic, 2 was because it gave you best in slot PvE gear, and 3 was because it was hyper inflated and you could get a lot of rating really fast. So people were like, oh my god, I'm getting in, I'm succeeding, I'm getting rewards, and I'm getting gear for the raid, and I have time to play because I can't go to work because my work is closed. And after that season, they immediately removed the rewards that were good in PvE. That already struck participation down because, again, that's where the incentive is. And then because the participation went down, MMR is tied to participation. So it meant MMR went down, which meant for the existing players, it became harder to get the rewards that they became accustomed to getting in the previous system, which then they became demotivated, and they probably led to them quitting. And then if they quit, then the MMR gets even lower. And now you get to the Shadowlands, final season of Shadowlands, and you have the lowest participation probably of all time the game has ever seen. So like that at its core was one of the main reasons that PvP participation tapered off. So I do hope that right now with what they're doing with Midnight is that they maintain MMR at a substantial margin so people don't quit the game next season when it starts and MMR resets and they're stuck at 1400 when they were finished the season at 2400 or something like that, because it's just going to repeat the same cycle. And that's leading to why it's degrading over time. They think that it's working out pretty well now. I think the current state of MMR is good, but you have to keep it like that. But they could have reacted to concerns much quicker. I'm glad that they're at least admitting this. It's not even just season 2, or they're going to try to in season 2. Okay, that's good. This is what matters. It's like, okay, this is what's going wrong. This is what we're going to do to make it better. This is good. Queue times are also an eternal challenge for most PvP games with multiple roles. Most players want to play DPS, and solo shuffle matches tend to be longer than 2v2 or 3v3, so there's some internal math to work through. So it talks about how to make queue times better. I honestly think coming up with a rated double DPS bracket, like solo shuffle for double DPS, is the solution to that. One is because for people who just want to log in and get a rated PvP experience with no queue, it will be instant all the time. And then those players will occupy that content, which means for other players who want to play 3v3 will no longer have to deal with them because they're pushed out over there. And you can queue both. So eventually you'll get a 3v3, but in the meantime you'll get some 2v2, and you're actually getting some games without having to mediate any of the LFG processes in the in-between. Obviously, I understand that double DPS would be imbalanced. I still think it would be fun. I think you'd have to no tanks, no healers. It would just be only DPS. And because it would siphon off a large group of DPS who just want to get some gameplay in, log on and play for a little bit after their shift at work, before they got to take care of their kid after school, they get some PvP content, rated participation, still get some players, and it would be a nice middle ground. At a high level, the developers want to serve their PvP community together better, but they also need to grow their PvP community in order to justify it. I mean, there's a lot of people that work on WoW in general that are like BlizzCon champion level players, tournament level players. Like the game literally gave them their careers, and PvP for that matter. And I don't want to believe that they would want it to fail, right? Like want it to fail. They would want to try and have it be as successful as possible. I think a lot of these core issues that at least they're addressing at this top part should hopefully alleviate a significant portion of it. I also think they need to increase the visibility of rewards the same way that they have with renown tracks for raiding and for Mythic Plus, right? When Mythic Plus goes down participation, here's a reworked renown track. Here's a new mount. PvP, we didn't really see the same level of reaction. WoW has a very passionate core of PvP players, but it made up a much larger percentage of the player base 20 years ago than it does today. I would also debate that the incentives for that content was significantly higher, so it's a bit unfair. If you had the same level of power from the gear available in these modes as you did back then, I think we would have an entirely different story. It's the same thing with what happened to Pet Battles. Pet Battles would have way more people playing it as well. The focus with things like training grounds and etc. is to get new people into PvP. I think that these are great features. I think it's great features for experimenting with new talents, playing in an environment that's low pressure, learning how to press your abilities. I'd really like if they introduced a PvP journal that shows like the mage page and says Ray of Frost, this is their big damage attack. Polymorph, this is a crowd control. You want to interrupt it and be aware when your teammates are in it. It shows up on this part of your frame. You know, just the same way they have dungeon journals for people to learn the things that are going through their roles. I think that would be a great addition for helping people figure it out, because a lot of people, they're new, they don't know what went wrong, and they feel like, I don't know what went wrong, I don't know what to do, and I'm going to give up. So having some element of in-game system like that would be good. It doesn't even have to be overly complex, just the 3 most basic things like Ray of Frost, Polymorph, and Ice Block or something. You know, just 3 main things that get somebody started so they're aware of what's going on. But it's not going to be a process that happens overnight. While that feels like they may not be doing enough for players already at the high end, growing the overall population will help everyone in the long run. I don't think anyone is disagreeing with that. The game needs a healthy ecosystem from top to bottom. But I think that the things that I am complaining about, even as a top level player, I once used to be a low rated player. I was perma hardstock duelist for like multiple expansions. Would have helped them, right? Like the things that I complain about for the most part would help lower rated players, like MMR, getting people to be able to get to the rewards, right? This season's Gladiator title was supposed to be the most accessible one. It is now getting there, but at the start it wasn't. It was more inaccessible than ever, and it felt like they spent a lot of time advertising that Glad mount, getting people intrigued about it, and then it just became the most inaccessible mount of all time, which seems like that's unfair, because you're dangling this as the main carrot for everybody as the advertisement and the expansion, and then nobody gets to get it until now, right? Like now it's getting a bit better, and even then for most people it's still hard, but other rewards like elite PvP sets and things like that, I feel like that should be on a renown track. Like, you move a renown track, you've unlocked your elite shoulders, and they just boom, go into your thing. You don't even need to go to a vendor. I feel like the vendor is outdated for elite gear. You should just have a renown track per class or something that moves through and be a bit more modern. PvP is long overdue for some PvP talents updates, which isn't something they'll get to in season 2, but it's on the horizon. I think even just basic number adjustments, right? Like not even necessarily core concept designs or anything that would take a huge amount of time. Just like this ability hits for 5 damage, but I have 100,000 health. That's too low. Make it big. Like that type of stuff. I definitely think would help a lot. Overall, the team is happy with the pacing of PvP rewards, though they'd like to improve visibility. This is good. Definitely visibility's issue. A renown track to make it more obvious what players will earn and when. Yes. You should be able to open the PvP tab and just be like, okay, I'm at this level of PvP renown, and when I get to this, I'm going to get these. And you can see what it is by control clicking it. As far as effort that goes into earning them, the nature of PvP is rewarding continued success, proving that players can continue to perform at a specific level. They don't want it to be too easy to play for a bit and then park at a level, or come in very late and very quickly jump up to a high level of rewards. That's kind of how the old system was, though, because MMR inflated towards the end, so that was the best time to play, which, to be fair, like when you're a new player from PvE, you're going to try PvP, it's probably in the second half of the season, because you're dedicated trying to get your raid achievements, trying to get your dungeon achievements, and then now you want to allocate some time to PvP because maybe you're bored of the dungeons, you got everything, you want to try something new. But that's when it's kind of inaccessible, because getting conquest is very painstaking, and there's a lot of invisible ways of doing it efficiently. And if you try to do it the way that traditional way, which is honor gear, and then go into rated play, you get smashed by the people who have been playing for the first part of the season, which is mostly everybody, and it's very inaccessible. And the trinket set bonus is a bit invisible. I do like that they put the trinkets on the training mode quests that are tied to it. So if you get in there, you might be able to get those, because that trinket bonus is like a massive thing that you're missing when you convert as a PvE player. And then if you don't have it and you get just absolutely destroyed, it's going to be a very disgruntling experience, probably likely leading to you not sticking around very long. So trying to like ease up that, or maybe even just give people trinkets for free. Like when you join, like here, we just given you some new trinkets, equip them. You know what I mean? Like, because that not having that bonus, you will be terrible, right? Like, so even if you came in with Mythic Raid gear, now at least you have the trinkets. Plus your Mythic Raid gear, you're going to be in a lot better than not having the trinkets. The trinket bonus is so huge. Most new people don't even know it exists and don't understand. They just think they're bad at the game because there's such a huge gap between having everything and not having everything. So I do hope, it sounds good though. I mean, this level of discussion about it feels like it hasn't happened too much in a public setting. I wasn't even honestly expecting anything from PvP with this interview, given how it was facilitated with Discord, which was new from previous interviews. But overall, I mean, it looks good. I like the changes that they're making also for 12.1 with regards to how CC is going to work. If they make the rewards more visible, I don't think this is something that's going to happen though in 12.1. This is probably maybe at best we're thinking like next expansion, but at least it's on the horizon. Because I think for a lot of people, as far as PvP participation is like, we just want to know that you have a plan, and that these are the improvements that are coming. And so many people would play, be like, okay, I'm on board. I like that. You got a plan. This is putting us in a positive direction. Issues feel like they're being heard. Great. That's all it is, I think. Obviously some people are more passionate than others. Collections and remix. Collector's Bounty is certain to return eventually, but it's something they want to use very sparingly. It should feel special and impactful when active, but it comes around too often. They know it would start to feel like it's pointless to farm outside of it, which would be counterproductive overall. When it's around, it should feel tangibly different, which demands that it be rare. So I think they're just talking about the time walking events that went there, or maybe the Legion remix thing in general. If people that know that it's on a schedule, they'll just wait to level alts. I mean, I'm already doing that. Like, I've saved all my alt leveling for this period. They will also continue to do more remix experiences. It's a great time to experience an expansion story at a faster pace while being distinct from just going back to max level and steamrolling everything. Okay, so they are going to do it. It was obviously successful enough. But again, was it successful because of the incentive, or successful because of its merit, right? There was a lot of cool stuff from Remix. But how many people kept playing it after they got all the stuff? It would be something that I would be curious about. When it comes to collecting, they always want to be careful about making it feel like players can never be done. They don't think it's a problem if people are quote-unquote done farming an old instance, which is why they didn't add new housing objects to old Dragon Soul bosses. Players can never be done. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, if you want to collect everything in the game, you're never going to be done. There's too much stuff to go after, no? I feel like. Exclusive rewards. There's a fraction of percent of collectibles that are planned to remain exclusive. Mainly things that were originally cited to have limited availability, though it's not something they plan to use much going forward either. There are tons of things that are unobtainable by accident, such as a piece of content that was changed or removed, in which case they're happy to bring them back in some way. Please bring back, like, I'm not going to lie, I feel like PvP on expeditions are low-key underrated. Low-key underrated. I think people didn't do them because you had to form a complete group with it to be able to do it. It was less efficient, and everybody just wanted their Azerite power, and they got raiding and other rewards from Arena, so they chose to do that instead of island expeditions. But I really would like content that fuses PvE and PvP together in some way, and it's like the easiest thing to recycle. But at the same time, how do you increase its participation? Because I would imagine similarly to something like Brawls, it's like, yeah, they're fun, but what are you going to do past that initial just like it's fun phase thing there? But I feel like island expeditions outside of forcing you to do them, especially the PvP version, could have been very fun, and maybe remove some of the like gimmicky one-shot tanks and items and stuff though. Outside of a very short list of things like original challenge mode or Mage Tower appearances, they'd love to hear examples so they can find new ways of making them available again. Do we think elite sets should be available again? Glad mounts should be available again, right? They brought back the quote-unquote glad mounts from Mythic Plus if you get 3,500, I think it is, and you can pick one of the old mounts. Should they do that with elite sets? Because that would be more rewards, more reasons to play. There's a lot of old elite sets I know people would try PvP for the first time to go after. There's a lot of cool-looking ones, right? Like Warrior from WoD Season 1. My God, bro, I'd love to have that set. Is there a way? Should they do it? I'm kind of leaning into maybe they should, just because we need to get people in, man. There's got to be more incentives to play, and if they feel like they can't use item level to drive that incentive, then cosmetics is the only thing we have. So I'm starting to think that maybe there needs to be a way to do it. I don't know exactly what the specifics of that should be to be able to do it, but it's interesting that they talk about challenge modes and Mage Tower appearances here too. I would like it. I mean, with challenge mode and Mage Tower, I'd love it if they do a higher res appearance of them, you know, like they did with the classic set or something like that personally. As opposed to bringing back just like the old rehashed existing sets that we saw from this. Profession updates. Primary professions will continue to evolve. In the long run, there should be more approachability and simplicity to at least some of them. The original goal of adding depth and player identity to crafting and Dragonflight was a success, but while depth can be valuable for blacksmithing, rare and coveted pieces of endgame gear, there's a little too much complexity to just picking flowers and making potions to yourself. Secondary professions are overdue for a closer look, and the team is currently discussing improvements of The Last Titan. Archaeology in particular has a great fantasy and lore, but relatively few players were excited by its actual gameplay. They'd love to find a new way of delivering the fantasy of researching and discovering lost civilizations with more fun moment-to-moment gameplay. This is another example of like content. Is it participated for merit or for incentive, right? For reward? Was archaeology clicking the thing and following where the telescope pointed fun? Or was it because you got that cool Scythalid mount Scorpid guy possibly from solving your things that you had to solve at the time that I can't remember the name of, right? So it's WoW's in a weird spot because of those incentive-based models. Some personal remarks from Ian. Everyone loves a good troll patch and raid. Ian is excited for everyone to jump in and see where the story is going to lead next. He's seen players speculate that it's a complete side story, a distraction from our main goal of pursuing Xal'atath, but there's more in store. He's also very excited to see everyone again at BlizzCon and share a lot more information about all the things Warcraft at that time. He'd like to thank the players for their passion, taking time to spend talking about Warcraft with us. Everything the development team does is for the players and to make a game that's worthy of the passion for the players who put into it. When asked about the puzzle box of Yogg-Saron, will it ever be opened? Ian said, well, yes, it has been if you play Hearthstone. It just fires off 10 random spells. I thought everybody knew that. I don't even know what this item is. This is an item that came in midnight or something? Maybe it was. I don't know. But, I mean, this breakdown, I assume this interview was probably one of the most extensive interviews they've ever done. I will say that. Like, I must say that there a lot of really important topics across the game were covered in this. This is a really good interview and breakdown. And I do hope that they are successful in their attempts. And I feel like the participation would go up if these things are achieved. I think participation ultimately for anything in the game, if it doesn't have the right incentive, is going to go down. If pet battles gave you the best gear in the game or leveled you the fastest or whatever, it would have higher participation, right? Like, you could just arbitrarily pick any content in the game and decide that it's the highest participation by just flipping the switch on how much of incentive comes out of it. So I think it's a bit unfair. But it seems they're aware of that, aware of those things that are unfair. And hopefully that them addressing it here will fix that problem in the long run. But other than that, thank you guys very much for tuning into the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview breakdown. And I will see you in the next one. Okay. We can get the game back. Oh my god, that video was so long that my character almost auto-logged out. Okay, I can't see your messages here for a second. Just give me a second to get my stream up and running here. I couldn't see your messages while I was doing that. I apologize if anybody said anything or did anything. If you guys subscribed or donated, please let me know. Please don't bait me if you're lying. YouTube mode has been disabled. Yes, exactly. Thank you for understanding that. Puzzle box of Yogis from Kata. Ah. Your bro legit grinded his heart out, getting 2200 earlier in season 2, but then he quit because he hated the illusions. Well, yeah, that's my point, right? Wait, someone gifted 100 subs? I think I'm getting trolled. Dude, nobody subscribes to me anymore, man. What happened? What happened, guys? Guild limits is so useless. What do you mean? I didn't really like the guild limit part of that. I didn't really like pay attention to too much, just because I play the game almost entirely as a solo player, right? Like, and I have friends who, if I want to do any of the group stuff with, I'm just gonna do it with them. I wish there was a way to take over the map like in TBC. What does that mean? Oh yeah, you mean like world PvP stuff? Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like WoW should have that. Like, there should just be area, like that add-on should just be in the game, and you can fight to control the map or whatever, and let the communities that want to do it, because like it seems crazy. They seem so simple and easy to do it. And you can make it more complex if you want or whatever, but there are people who would quit and not come back if they made elite sets obtainable again. You need world areas where you can't fly for world PvP? Yes and no. I mean, like, I've enjoyed like the aerial combat. I wish they'd add more to the dragon riding toolkit to like, as far as like dragon interactions with each other or whatever. Well, I mean, there's some people. Everybody has their own specific issue with the game, right? Depends on what content they engage most with the game, right? I do see a lot of generic sentiment online that people are not fans of the story direction. I will note, at least for myself, that I used to be like pretty heavily invested in it, and I kind of haven't been for a while. And I don't know if that's me getting older, or if it's because the story isn't as compelling as it was, or what, or maybe a combination of the two. Yeah, exactly. Like the swirling surge and knocking someone out midair is great. I'd love to be able to like grappling hook onto someone's mount and attack them on their own mount to force them to dismount or something. They'll never do that, but I think it would be fun. Okay, I'm gonna export this video here. So let's just get this going. You could also just make like war mode in the old world. You can't fly or something. I don't know. I mean, how many people do you think, if there was like control points around the globe, and if you managed to control every control point for the Horde, there's like some big achievement, right? Like, if you could simultaneously control every control point in every old zone of Azeroth, right? Like, let's just take only Eastern Kingdoms. Let's say there's 20 zones that you can fight to control in Eastern Kingdoms. If you manage to control all 20 at the same time, you get a mount. That's the incentive. You got to get your entire server together to go fight to control all these points together to be able to get the mount. The problem is that people would do it, but they'd only do it once. And like metrics like that aren't as overpowered as these other metrics like Mythic Plus, where you got infinite dungeon running. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not even close to as far as player engagement. It's a really cool moment in time, but it's not like a repeated loop. This is the first season you're doing keys this late because of the 1% mount? Yeah, because there's another carrot to get. The point is that there always needs to be another carrot, but the carrot can't be too far away from your face. If the carrot's too far away from your face, you just like, screw it, it's too far away. But if there isn't a carrot, then you don't move either. So the goal is to string the carrots at a pace that doesn't feel impossible, but also so you don't run out of carrots. Well, that's the thing. I feel like, I mean, some of it probably is. You know, look at every other game, right? StarCraft's participation is down, it's old. But then other games that are catered for, you know, and tailored for, like League of Legends, they're not. I mean, maybe they are down too overall from their all-time highs, right? But to me, like, the things that they talked about that they are planning to address are really core things. People need to know what they can get. And then it also needs to not be impossible for them to get it. Let's not gatekeep the stuff. Like, we're trying to get people in the door. Don't be like, hey, look at this cool PvP thing you can get. Except MMR is squished, so you're going to be 1300 and can't get any rating, and you'll never get it. Haha. Like, that's not going to work. I don't think that's going to work. It has to be more approachable. It's for someone to actually get that reward. I think the training grounds is good for getting people. Like, now you have the training grounds, so now you can properly display the rewards and be like, these are all the rewards. Now go in the training grounds, figure out how your buttons work. Maybe you put a PvP journal on some, like, 3 basic things on every class to look out for when you're playing PvP. Doesn't have to be a huge time-consuming thing to make it. And boom, now you're going. And then keep MMR high so that people aren't just stuck at very low ratings all the time. And boom. You like the healer too? Well, they're buffing pretty much everyone, right? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Mythic Plus, it seems like when their participation goes down, it's like, okay, how can we add 10 more mounts? We're gonna update the animations to make things more visible. We're gonna do everything that you say. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. When something goes wrong with Mythic Plus and participation goes down, it does feel like, oh my god, what's wrong with it? Okay, you want this, we'll do it. But with PvP, it's just like, we'll get to it. You know, and then they do get to it, but it's like by the time they get to it, most people have stopped. And then it's like, well, we can't get to it because everybody stopped. Well, it's like they stopped because you didn't get to it with the same level of enthusiasm. I mean, I feel like if the reaction to the problems that Mythic Plus had with the same time frame as PvP, it wouldn't, it'd be in a pretty similar position. Right? Like, I feel like it's a little unfair to say that it's just because it's old or something. Like, I don't know, man. That's why I bring up Shadowlands Season 1. Oh, wait, there's more changes coming? What is this? Wait, do we have to do... what? Wait, they're doing changes on retail? Like the live game? What is this? I thought there's no way they're doing more tuning. What? What is this user interface in Classic? I don't know what any of this stuff is. Wait, there's no way. Wait, am I going to have to make another video? What is this? Demon Hunters? Oh, these are good changes. I mean, it's not a lot of them. No way. They're actually doing it. This is what I mean. These are good changes. If these happened like 3 months ago, be sick. Or increasing overall healing, providing an opportunity to Holy Priest to contribute offensively. They're buffing Holy Fire damage. Good. Buffed its healing a bit. I don't really understand why they're buffing Disc. Oh my god, is Resto Shaman actually getting a buff? Oh my god, what? Well, this is the thing that I feel like everyone needs to wake up and smell the roses, right? For a second here, we need to be honest, okay? Whether it's PvE or PvP, if you took it out of WoW and made it its own thing, it would be massively smaller than it is. Why is that? Because people care about the value of their accounts. They care about their achievements, their mounts, their transmogs, and stuff like that. So if you took any individual mode, you took raiding, dungeons, arena, battleground, whatever it is, took it out of WoW, made it a standalone game, it would have significantly less people playing it. Fundamentally. I sincerely believe that. I could be wrong, but I sincerely believe that the main incentive is the sunken cost fallacy of people's investment on their accounts. That's what's driving participation. They want to keep getting the collectibles before they're gone. They don't want the value of their account to go down, and that's their main driving factor. That's not everybody, but I do think it's a large portion of it. But it's like, okay, but now, okay, so it's like, this is what I'm saying. They just need to organize everything in one big update, and people would come back. You know, like, they're making good changes, for example, right now in this season, but they're like trickling them in. And it's not like, it's not all at once. So no, there's not like this significant, like, oh, we're back. You know what I mean? It's like, look at Overwatch, right? Overwatch fell off. No one cared about it. And then they came back with this huge update. Like, here's 8 new characters, a new mode. We're bringing back 6v6 or some other shit. I don't remember what they did. And we're removing the 2. You know what I mean? And then when Overwatch did that, boom, everybody came back. Everybody's like, I'm on board. Let's play fucking Overwatch. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't this like trickle of like, yeah, this is a new character and we fixed this problem with this character. And then 2 months later we fixed this. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's solving the problem. You're solving the problem, but it's not making that big boom of like, oh yeah, we're getting back into WoW PvP. That's what it needs. That's what WoW PvP needs. It needs this big moment of like, we've sorted all these issues. This is it. You know what I mean? Instead, what we got with Midnight was, we're going to make PvP more accessible. Gladiators 2300. However, MMR is going to get scuffed, so 2300 is even harder than it was to get 2400 before. So you got debated. Like, that's not going to be the big hurrah moment that gets people to care again. That's just not going to be it. That's not going to cut it. You think it's exhausting? You think WoW PvP is exhausting? What about WoW PvP is exhausting? I think personally the cooldown gameplay is exhausting. Having your character only matter in a 5-second sequence of buttons, I think that's exhausting because you need to memorize it, see when it's coming up, and plan for it, and all of your other actions feel irrelevant. I think in the older version of the game, prior to how many cooldowns there were in the game that amplified the strength of your character, you could be the average player just pressing Frostbolt and move someone's health bar. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back in Classic WoW or go back into TBC, you can just press Ice Lance and they lose 30% of their health, right? There's no Frozen Orb before Blizzard, before Flurry, to get stacks to Lance and then have this cooldown stacked up to do this, right? There was no complicated format. It was just, I pressed attack button, you lost HP. Which was way better for somebody who isn't like a super giga sweat or whatever. The only people who it benefits right now is like a Mythic Race to World First Raider. Because it lets them be skill differentiated from other players, right? Like, I'm maintaining my dots in the correct order and the cooldown sequence is correct and all. Like, that's who it benefits, to have it be more complicated. Because it's more fun for them and they get to differentiate themselves from other people. But in PvP, PvP's way better if it's just, I pressed attack button, HP moved, I'm happy. Instead of, like, Demon Hunter's the best example of that. Like, Eldrazi, Reaver, Demon Hunter, like, you have to press the hunt, which then makes your Throwglaive empowered. And then when you press that, you also need to make sure that you Eye-Beamed, and then make sure you're in meta, and then make sure you Chaos Strike before you Blade Dance, and then finally, now you move someone's health bar. Like, I'm 6 steps deep, instead of it just being, I pressed Blade Dance, and his HP bar moved. Like you have to do 6 things before it happens. That I could see being exhausting. It's exhausting for me. I play the game for a living. Like there are some specs that have like a sequence of buttons like that, and it does feel exhausting to do that. Mythic Plus has millions of keys done. There are not millions of PvPers. Yeah, but that's a result of like slow erosion. I almost guarantee if Mythic Plus had the same response that PvP has gotten over the long period, over the long haul, it would erode too. I also think that, like, I don't know, like this is an assumption, but I don't think WoW, like if you were to look at a graph of WoW, it's like expansion comes up, peak. Couple months by, low. Patch comes out, peak but lower than the expansion peak, and then lower, and then another one, and then lower, and then when the next expansion comes out, it's lower. Like the highs are lower over time, and the lows are lower over time. Like I think overall, over the long period, like this is what's happening in any part of the game. Like the total, that's my assumption. This is based off like content creator engagement, right? Those are the only metrics I have access to. Content creator metrics are going down. There are less people interested in Mythic Plus over time. There are less people interested in PvP over time. There's less people just in general in content creation. It's going down. And I would assume there's some correlation there, not 100%, but there's going to be some correlation. So if the engagement in the content is going down, I think the player base is also going down. And so how sustainable is it? Even if you, let's say you put all your eggs in the Mythic Plus basket, because it's the biggest basket right now, over the next 5 to 10 years, is it actually sustainable? Because I think it'll end up in the same spot that PvP is in. Even with how responsive they are, right? Even with how responsive they are. I feel like it's gonna go in the same direction. I'm not trying to be a doomer, it's just what I'm observing. Oh no, man, I want to take that cube, but my video's not done encoding, and I'm going to lag balls if I take it. I don't think I can take it. I'm honestly surprised my PC hasn't crashed. I just feel like it's not. I mean, what needs to be done that would be so costly that it wouldn't be worth it? You make a renown track. You already have the technology. You've made like 30 renown tracks in the game. Is it really that hard to make a renown track? That's just like at level 5 you get the elite sets shoulders. At level 10 you get this, and then I don't know. I'm not a developer, right? I'm asking. Like, I'm not trying to be facetious. Like, is it a huge? You already have like 30. You've already made 30 renown tracks. Is it really that costly to make a renown track and just to move numbers around with class tuning? I just don't like. How much money does that cost? I feel like it can't be like. I understand that, like, okay, you got to pay an artist and you got to draw new zones and a story writer and all that stuff. But I said that I feel like most people's complaints are not that with PvP. But what WoW PvP needs what Overwatch got, which is just a big fucking hurrah moment, which is like, here's all the biggest issues we know we've acknowledged. This is how we're addressing it. This is the plan. PvP is back. Get the fuck in. Like that. That's all it needs. That's it. I mean, Overwatch went through the same thing that WoW PvP is going through, where its population was diminishing. They weren't acknowledging the community, blah, 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 blah. And then they decided to flip a switch on it and come back and realize, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're acknowledging this and da, 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 da. And then it came back. Participation is inflated by FOMO. Yes, but PvP is also as well. You can't be biased towards that. PvP has FOMO, but the problem is the FOMO that PvP has is kind of invisible to most people. They don't even know it's there, so it's not really FOMOing them because they don't know it exists, right? Like, you can't experience FOMO if you don't know it exists. So making the FOMO visible would definitely go, a decent way. I mean, imagine if they released Decor Duels and didn't tell you what you got for doing it, and made it really obscure as far as figuring out where it is that you can even get from it. I think its participation would be a lot lower. Can you link the changes? I can in a second here. My computer is encoding a video, and everything's very laggy, and that's why I'm first person, and I'm not like outside, and I'm kind of just huddled down in a bunker. Most people click. I actually sincerely think that the game might be better for regular people if they removed arena targeting binds and focus binds, and you had to click shit. Like, you had to click your targeting, not your spells, but you had to click your targeting. I wonder if it would actually be more accessible or not. Or if it would just be the same issues that StarCraft had, right? Like, StarCraft tried to do stuff like that. StarCraft was like, it's too much to manually inject hatcheries with larvae, so the queens will automatically do it. And they thought they'd get more players, right? Like, would take some of the microing that is maybe considered tedious, right? You said PvP is exhausting. I don't know if you played StarCraft. My God, bro, that is a trip if you've never actually played a competitive game of StarCraft. But I imagine they probably viewed that as like, this might be exhausting, so they removed it. But it didn't actually lead to more people playing. And I think StarCraft is one of the greatest games of all time, man. I love StarCraft. I wish StarCraft esports was bigger than it is. I swear it deserves to be bigger than it is. StarCraft is so fucking good. To me, I kind of feel like, I guess we'll have to see what they do with the StarCraft IP with this new game. But I kind of feel like Blizzard's going to shift their goals to just action RPG style loot simulators. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just the direction we're going. And it's because they work right now, right? That's the genre right now. The meta right now is gambling. So just very easy, immersive PvE experiences that let you gamble dopamine on loot. I just kind of feel like that's going to be the focal point, because that's the vast lion's share of participation right now in gameplay. From my observations. That's going to be the focus point. But I just feel like PvP is getting such like a bad rap just because of a few minor things, not like major things, just a couple minor things, but minor things over a long period of time, right? Even a little drip of water will break a rock over 20 years. Seeing a 2v2 tournament at 3 p.m. The in-game tournaments are sick, yeah. I really like Flarkness's community tournaments that he was doing, where anyone can sign up and it balances the team so that, like, if you're a 1500 rated player, you'll get a 2500 person on your team and a 3K person on your team, and you got to make that work against other people who are in the same boat. I really like that format. That format is accessible to everyone in the game. It makes it feel like everybody can win, no matter how much experience you have. It forces good players to play with inexperienced players and try and build them up. I really like Flarkness's format. I'm not going to lie. I swear that tournament format, I like somewhat think that maybe AWC should use it. I legitimately do, because that format is so fucking good. It's so good, bro. His like solo sign up format. You can just sign up as anybody. You're random, nobody, doesn't matter. Obviously, there's more RNG to it, but I don't know. I really like that format. That format is really cool. I think it's cool because good players play with bad players and have to worry about getting them to play good, because otherwise they won't win. So if they're toxic or whatever, it's not going to help them win, and it helps the new people learn stuff. It's so good. You don't agree with that? If you want to play PvP, go play League. Yeah, but you could say that about any game just because it's smaller. Like, let's look at sports, right? Okay, why would you waste your time with this sport? It's popular than that sport. You know what I mean? You want to play a sport? Go play whatever the most popular one is. I don't even know. Soccer. Oh, you like bowling? Too fucking bad. Go play a real sport like soccer. That's what you sound like right now. That's legitimately what you sound like. If you want to play PvP, go play League. Well, if you want to play a real sport, go play soccer. You know, why are you playing golf? Why are you playing pickleball? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I don't think that's fair. It's not fair to do that. There are some sports that are smaller than others. Now, you know, like if WoW PvP didn't have all of these hurdles and things like that, you know, working against it, I'm not going to say that it would be massively bigger than League or something. It probably wouldn't be. But it'd definitely be a lot damn better than what it is. But the biggest thing is inconsistency of MMR, transparency of rewards, onboarding for new players, chat filtering for toxicity, and there you go. Well, again, I don't know which sports are popular or not popular or whatever, but my point is that, like, some people like one sport, and it's like, well, why are you wasting your time with that? You should play this one. This is the real sport because it's more popular. Because they're fucking lobster brain that only cares about hierarchy, and it's all they view their life through. It. It's just, people do stuff because they like doing it. They like getting good at that thing. Like, I don't think it's a fair comment to make. Yeah, exactly. Just get rid of baseball, NFL. NBA is the most popular. It should just be the only sport. All these other PP games shouldn't even exist. It should just be only League. Like, why are you doing that? Just only play League. It should just be Dota. Is Dota the most popular game? Okay. Sorry guys, I'm uploading a video right now and trying to rant about stuff because it's something that I care about. watched your stream. I mean, I don't play StarCraft very well. I like watching it. I don't play it very well. I am not good at it. Dun, 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 dun. Trying to think of a thumbnail here. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I'm at BlizzCon after AWC, the first thing I did was speed run to the StarCraft stage. Because the StarCraft stage was fucking sick, bro. When Mike Morhaime was the CEO, holy shit, you could tell that he loved StarCraft. You could tell that he loved esports, bro. My God, bro, the stage that they had for StarCraft, giant fucking thing against the stadium that changed based on the race that the player was. So it would start growing tentacles and shit if they played Zerg, or start growing Protoss armor and shields. Oh my God. And the players were up in the middle of this giant thing on the stadium that was, the game was projected. It was so good. It was so good, man. So good. Winter StarCraft is a... Yes. Do I like Protoss? I like Zerg. I thought Zerg was the most interesting matchups. Whether or not it was Zerg versus Zerg, or Zerg versus Protoss, or Zerg versus Terran, I thought Zerg was always the best to watch. I thought Terran versus Terran was pretty boring. I thought Protoss versus Terran and Protoss versus Protoss was pretty boring. Zerg was the most interesting matchup amongst all combinations, in my opinion. Okay, we got that done. Am I gonna make a class change video about these changes? It's like some of them, I mean, I'm really glad they're doing the spinning crane kick change. I actually wonder if that knocks Mistweaver literally out of the game. Blinkstalkers, oh, Blinkstalkers were cool, yeah. I didn't like when, I don't know, sometimes it was kind of cool when, like, the Archon toilet, where Zerg late game was spamming Broodlords, which were slow-moving aerial units that spawned these little ground attackers. And then Protoss was, like, getting a bunch of Archons with a mothership, and then they would, like, black hole, which sucked everything together into a hole, and then spit it all out in one area. And because Archons AoE'd, they just lightning zap every single Broodlord. So you would just, it was called the Archon toilet, because you would just suck everything into the black hole like a toilet, spit it out, and the Archons would just one-shot everything. Well, that's the thing, right? If you're a new player in PvP, one, you don't know what the rewards are because they're not properly displayed relative to how rewards are for other games or other parts of the game is structured. The CC is really annoying, and I mean they tried to change it to improve it, right, with the 16-second DR. This is unfortunate that it didn't work, and I do think that it's fair for them to experiment with that. I don't hate them because they moved the DR down to 16 and it didn't work. I think that you have to fiddle with that number and you won't really know for sure. But now it's like, okay, that one didn't work. Let's move it up to 20, see how that works. I think that's good. The snares are just bullshit. Like if you're a new player and you get hit by a snare in PvP, you move slower than RP walking. It's horrible. And I've known that's horrible since Legion because that's when they removed it. was in Legion because it was horrible. But then they brought it back in BFA, and it's just been there since BFA. It's so bad. It's so bad when you get snared and you're just someone who doesn't play PvP. You're just going in. And you're just like, why the fuck is my character not going anywhere? Like I can't like. The flag carrier's zip lining across with hover and just gone off the screen in 1 millisecond. And you're just like what? How am I supposed to move? Like, but they're removing that. So removing the slows, increasing the DR, I think is good. The slows are so dumb. The slows are like, if you're going to have a slow like that, it needs to have like a 3-second uptime and a significant cooldown. Like 30-second to a minute cooldown. It can't be permanent, bro. Some of these snares are just like, if you're getting attacked, you just move that slow. What? Do you think PvE guys are sticking around for WoW's M+ pushing in dungeons and raids? I don't know what that means. I mean, most people don't, right? Look at the Mythic Plus participation. It was 5 million keys in the first week. I think we're at 1 million or lower now. They obviously don't stick around, but I would imagine it's very similar for PvP. Although maybe not as significant of a drop-off. It seems like a pretty severe drop-off for PvE participation, like in one season. You don't even know what normal run speed is anymore? Yeah, exactly. So they're doing things that are good. And this is why I'm saying they need to just like bang this stuff together in a post to get people excited about PvP. Just bang it all together like this is improving, this is improving, this is improving. This is the time to come back for PvP. And do it in an interview. Do it in a post. This is the same way that they did with Overwatch. The same way that they've done with every game that when they're trying. The same way they did with Mythic Plus. People were raging balls about Mythic Plus. Like they can't see the things on the ground and they're getting one shot by AoEs, and they made a post about it. Everybody's like, okay, this is the time to come back. That's all WoW PvP needs is just, okay, these are the problems. This is what we're doing. Boom. Come back. Play the game now. Well, I mean, Mythic Plus is very easy, yeah. But that's also why I think it's unfair to compare PvE participation to PvP. Mythic keys are the easiest they've ever been, so more of them are getting completed. Who would have thought? Like, more keys are being ran because you've made it the easiest it's ever been. That just makes sense. That goes without saying, right? Whereas PvP, for the first, like, 3 or 4 months, the rewards were the hardest to get ever. Like, if you did that to Mythic Plus, its participation would have been lower. If you literally made it impossible to get 2k IO as a Mythic Plus player, everybody would have quit. That's why I say it's unfair. You can't really, like, these comparisons are just like, what's going on? Why are these the analytics we're using to try and compare things? Well, exactly. The cooldown gameplay is why, like, a lot of, like, new players and stuff is not good. Wait, what are you saying here? Ian recorded a statement. They designed the game and still can't predict what the top of the top can do, like the first car engineer seeing it drifted by a car or by a racer. Well, yeah, I mean, think about the guy who designed the saxophone, right? The guy who designed the saxophone, what people can do with a saxophone now, the notes they can hit, the higher registers they can hit, that was never the intended design of the saxophone. The saxophone was supposed to play the notes for the buttons that you push down. There are notes you can hit regardless of the buttons that you push down that people discovered. So that is true. You can invent anything, and there is possibility for discovery on top of that. What's the point of that comment? Let's get dots on everything here. Trent, go. On the healer. Grounding down. Bash him. You guys trinket. Disarm. I keep getting enhancement shamans, bro. They're so hard to fight as Boomy. And a demon hunter is also really hard. Just try and keep dots on everything. We're playing with an Athlock. Trying to keep pressure going out as much as possible. The healer is kind of the kill target, to be honest. Need to use roots as well as clones too. Disrupt them as much as possible. Trying to soak kicks with clones. Banish me? It coordinates that with an ascendance. It could be scary. There it is. We're gonna need some deep dampening, bro. They have so much hybrid healing with Demon Hunter. I think we're getting there. As far as dampening, the Druid's also ooming. Just keep up the damage. And it's clone me. Trigger this. Try and root him. He's got Doomwind soon, I'm sure of it. Oh, he's gonna press it now that he's on full DR. I think we just lost because the lock just put him on DR before his go. Oh, it was such a terrible howl. Oh no, bro. You can howl, but it's gotta be Doomwinds. You can't just press him. We have no ports. Did Plunderstorm help PvP numbers? I don't think so. Plunderstorm and WoW Arena are completely different games. I would doubt that Plunderstorm brought new people in to play WoW PvP. Log just needs to pump big damn and not howl randomly outside of their cooldown window, and we'll probably win this. That was a better howl. It was actually on their cooldowns. But we should also port. There's no reason to tank them. We're going to need dampening in this matchup. It's just completely mandatory. All that matters is overall damage and dampening. And not dying to their one-shot cooldown. Which we survived their first wave. Stun him on cooldown, knock him. Clone his Ironbark. Main priority should be dotting Druid. And I need to clone metas. I had to cross there to get a clone. It's fine, they're DRing everything on me. They're gonna send a go here soon. Here comes the Doomwinds. Probably he howled before it, dude. We're gonna die. God damn it, man! Just don't howl before it. You have to save port and save howl and just what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? We're just doing no damage and we blow everything before he presses Doomwinds. It's just auto death. You didn't play Plunderstorm at all? I do think if Plunderstorm released as a standalone game, it wouldn't... For as much as people were hyping it up, I think it would have died off, just like every other game. I don't think Plunderstorm was going to be like Fortnite or something. That would be like saying Decor Duels is going to beat Mecha Chameleon. I just don't. There's no way. And now we can howl the goat. I see. I don't really know why he wants to go Demon Hunter. I mean, I guess if we have a stun, he might die in it, but... This is actually such a bad Boomy lobby. It's just all these classes are invincible to me. And the 2 druids I can't solar beam. Oh my god, bro. Demon Hunter's on a Boomy. Demon Hunter's on a Boomy, bro. Just brain dead. Just kill me. In game, of course. Why does it say I have an instant root, but I don't? My only chance is just live as long as I can and hope that the shaman one-shots the lock. I don't think I have much choice otherwise. Oh my god, we just brought him away from me. Ooh. Dude, I just want to clone the Demon Hunter, man. Every CC is on me. Oh, please, one shot up. Oh, thank you. Oh, this entire lobby has just hoped the enhance one-shot somebody, dude. It's so lame. I mean, maybe they released Plunderstorm on like Xbox or something. I don't know. They didn't really do a lot with it. Like, it did really well. Maybe they do have long-term plans for Plunderstorm. I don't know. I really hate when Demon Hunter is just like this, where they just don't take any damage. Stun him up. Repeat the lock. Try to finish. Come on. Finish him. Going in. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm just hoping to live in this lobby, bro. I just want to live. Double Druid, enhanced Demon Hunter. There's so many groundings and reflex. I shouldn't have gone back to a pillar. That was a mistake. We're gonna need some Resto Druid Cyclones, my guys. I can't just be the only one casting it. We're just trying to live these Doom Winds windows and the Druid. It's the main goal right now. Ugh. Ain't no way the Demon Hunter is dying. No, why'd he run back to the Shaman? Wait, why'd he clone me? I have like 5 UAs. Have to Starfire through the Nether Ward. Snipe his grounding. Try and off heal and clone the Shaman. Rebuff. So he gets extra versatility out. Disarm him. Try and get any of our stun on the Harvey. Skin this. We have to win right now, I zoom. We've done it, we've lived, we have to win now. No, he's dead in a stun. Ooh. Please. He kicked me. Oh my god. I'm stunned. I want to help. Please. Ugh. Oh my god, I'm bashed on my trinket. He has a Dark Pact. We're dead. We lose. I'm dead. Oh. Shadow Meld that. Hit a spell. Heal. Heal. Please! Oh. Do not tell me that's not the closest game you've ever seen in your life. Please tell me. There's no way you can tell me that's not the closest game you've ever seen in your life right now. And none of you are even subscribing. We have to do it again, dude. I just bashed into that shit. Pull him behind the pillar so I can disarm him out of line of the druid if he pops on me here. Force him back. Try and bait kicks. Into the shaman. He's grounding. Here comes the go soon. Just poured it in on me. Here comes the go. Bash it. Okay, we lived. Disarm him. Trigger this. I should have lined that haunt, I think. Sprint everybody. Got a big go here. All the growth is all. Keep pressure on everything. Disarm. Nice clone. And bash him. Skin. Kill him. Oh my god, a grounding. Hex. Please. Oh my god, dude. Oh. Scuba Doos, thank you for the 11 months. Aflock's pretty hard to play. I think Arcane, Af, Feral, Outlaw, probably the top 4 hard ones. Rage Sportats, thank you for the gifted sub.
Mode has been
Rage
unlocked.
Portals, sorry.
Spam your memes for free. Describe the next song.
I'm fighting very hard to stay alive right now.
Torpedoes incoming. I have the angle. I have the perfect shot. Just need to phase out. Just need to pull. Come on. Click. Why? isn't it lighting up? No, 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 no. Why is my port like an hour cooldown, bro?
I think that could be cool, actually, making a system where you get cosmetics for looting tokens off player bodies in World PvP.
Song is in the oven. Chat, 3 minutes left. Keep this train alive to unlock it. Scuba Doos is the hype train king.
System glitching in the fray. Port is down. Port is down. Time is down. Port is down. Joke. Positioning was absolute. Map awareness acute. But the UI tells a lie. Watch a stupid timer die. The clock is melting. The seconds are stretching. Eternity. W-H-Y-I-S-M-I-P-O-R-T-L-I-K-E-E-N-H-O-U-R-C-O-O-L-D-O-U-N-B-R-O. It's mocking me. The icon is laughing. I can't move.
Chat, your brand new track is ready. You know what to do. Level up the
What just happened?
train to unlock it.
Explosion.
My stream crash?
Your mechanics full of null. Respine screen loaded up. Fill the mana, fill the cup. Rank 1. Go in. Rank 1. Climb it. Back again. No pain. Rank 1.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Foolish me, I followed the rule. Vanquish gal holding the line. Chatter's going fine and fine. Super Tay in the house. Super Tay, brave out. Click the bait. Watch it fly.
Am I seeing this? Wait, what happened to the stream? Is it glitched out on there too?
The energy is dropping.
Where is it frozen?
Train is fading, the bar is draining, just like my patience. Who is gonna save this run? Who's gonna fix the clock? We need a reload, we need a prime. Don't let the stream time out. Train is dying. Train is dying. It's the sun. Do it now.
What is Super Vizier lore? Wait, what? Apparently, if we get to the next level, Vizier, if you want to give subs for it, the AI has a love song for us. If you want to hear the love song.
Time remaining 1 minute. 2 subs. Sub.
Porton is ready.
Wow.
Port is steady. Let us go. Let us go. Port is ready. Why is my port like an hour cooldown?
30 seconds. Time.
Wait, did it actually happen? Are we actually getting this?
Describe the next song in chat.
Gooseberries, thank you for the 2 gifted
The
subs.
hype train is at level 2. Gooseberries gifted a sub and has taken the crown from Scuba Doos.
Gooseberries has taken the crowd for Scuba Deuce.
In the arena, waiting for the cue to pop. Hearts are loading. In the chaotic world of arena, where ports are mist and dampening rises, one hero stands alone. But look, a savior appears in the chat. The ultimate support, the perfect match. It's a romance written in the combat. Log, Vezir, and Super! The ultimate power!
Okay, are you guys gonna give subs for the love song to get us to the next one? Are we getting to the next one or what? Gooseberries is the next song. We got the Vizier song. Are we gonna get the Gooseberry song? Where's your spandex? I'm gonna need to buy some. Can we get some gift of subs to buy some?
Chat, your brand new track.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? There's no significant housing items.
Train to unlock
The housing items that you can get are practically invisible, by the way. There are some PvP housing items that are randomly tracked to like old AF at Battleground achievements. It's like a Twin Peaks achievement, and you can get this sick player housing decor, and you don't even know it exists. You can't even find it, but it's one of the coolest housing decors in the game. But you can't even find it. Like, there should be a housing decor tab that shows where all of the decor comes from, and there should be a tab for PvP that shows the housing decor that comes from PvP. I think they think that player housing people want nothing to do with PvP, and that's why they didn't do it, is my guess. I made a video about the interview, Donovan, already.
time remaining.
Are we going in on this or not?
Minute.
1 minute left. Don't let the flute down.
3 more subs for the next level.
Wait, did I miss a cue?
30 seconds. Time is running out. There is only 12 seconds left.
I do kind of think at least putting like housing decor in the training grounds should be acceptable, no? Like, okay, you're intimidated by PvP. Try it against the bots. It's basically PvE.
Has successfully
And if
reached
for
its
some reason you do like it, then oh, there you go. You got a new PvP player. And if you don't, well, you got your housing decor. You know? Do what you're gonna do. Do what you're gonna do with that. Well, it's like, okay, we can't. It does seem like it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like, it's shrinking, but we can't justify putting more resources because it's shrinking. Well, Mythic Plus was shrinking, and you justified the reason. Like, I don't understand. Is it like it's a shipping sink, and you have to prioritize the things that are the biggest? Well, you're basically admitting it's a sinking ship. Eventually, I think eventually all of the ships are gonna sink. The Mythic Plus ship, the raid ship, like, like, what? If the numbers start getting bad, we're just shipping the sink. We're sinking the ship, shipping the sink. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, bro. I'm cooked. That's what I'm saying too. I swear, if they don't have the money to do it, I swear they could crowdfund money to pay someone to do it. I swear, like, people want this game to grow and they want the effort to be put in. I absolutely shit you not that if you're like, okay, we don't have the resources ourselves, but we'll crowdfund to have someone do it. I swear you could. I swear you could. I don't think you understand how many PvP live service games would die to have the popularity that WoW PvP is. I don't think you understand. Okay, let's go ham here. They, wait, is this Cubsy? What the f— I think they're splitting their guys. Are they backtracking? Oh, we gotta snipe this guy before Cubsy comes back. I'm not targeting for some reason. I'll be able to cap while Cubsy's gone. No, he's not gonna let me. Nice. How many buffs the druid has? What? You get a 6 full row of buffs? Yeah, I think it's bloated. Like, as far as visual display, for sure. I mean, one class puts up what, like a 40-player raid in Classic would have put up on a boss. Free to play with skins who compete against. I think it would be better for PvP to separate like that at this point, because it's gaining no benefit being a part of an MMO because it doesn't get the advantages, which is forced participation. It would be better isolated, but I don't think it would be bigger than League. Also, it would have to be done like very similarly to how it is in WoW. I really hate this BG, bro. It just feels like you lose one base, the game is over. Oh, is it not over? They screw up? They get cocky? We're starting to die, though. See, Voker Omega is pulling off a miracle. Oh, I would have killed him, bro. Oh, thank God. Isolation is the wrong way. So it made it special. Well, the thing is if you force people to do it, people are gonna get mad. We've already seen what happens. What am I getting pinged? I thought I got pulled out of stealth there. What the hell? That fire animation. I swear WoW PvP has so much potential. I swear it's always had potential. But no one's been able to actually capture what makes it special, you know, that's tried to make a version of it. Battle Right was probably the closest thing. But Battle Right, where it failed was it needed a place to flex. It needed a hub of players where you could go in with an avatar that had different things you had gotten from your, you know, your achievements of your rating, where you could communicate with other players. That's why WoW succeeded where Battle Right didn't. Because in WoW, you get a mount and it becomes a social aspect. You're walking around, other people see you on the mount. That's a very important component to why people play WoW that Battle Right didn't have. It was just a lobby. You just looked at a lobby isolation with just yourself. I think it's the same thing with StarCraft. I think if StarCraft had like a player hub with an avatar character that unlocked cosmetics season to season, where you could interact with other people while you were in queue, that socialization element is what a lot of live service PvP games are missing. Used to be, let's go to a dungeon, you get attacked, and then 3 hours of world PvP. Yeah, but now there's 20 FOMO rewards you have to be concerned about unlocking in time. So you're min-maxing all of your attention only towards those modes to get your item before it's gone. Or you lose. Oh no. We gotta do something risky, dude. Ah, Demon Hunter came. The good news is that they sent a healer. Good. We should get something else because they overcommitted. I'm not that big of a threat to justify a healer, I don't think. I just need to try and distract them for as long as I can. Well, FOMO is what they can use to skew participation metrics, which is like, to me, it's almost abusive as a game dev. Like, you can make the participation high in any of the content. So obviously you're going to be biased towards the content you make, right? Because you want to justify your job. So any content you make, like, you're just going to put FOMO rewards on it. And then it's like, well, look, the participation is really high. You need to keep me hired. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird, like, we're in a weird system where as a game dev, I can't see you being rewarded for even necessarily caring if what you make is fun. It just has to have high participation. And the best way to do that is FOMO rewards. I can't hit him, bro. Oh, thank God, dude. We got it. We beat Cubsy, dude. I don't know if that's the real Cubsy, by the way. But yeah, forcing your players to do what you want. Exactly. Like, do people actually like delves? Or is it because you gave them a way to get gear that's equal to or better than Mythic Plus? I'm not too sure. And people care about gear. And so now you've given them a way to do that without having to deal with LFG. Obviously, they're going to do that. Right? Like, is it? Like, you have to break it down further than just look how many people that are participating, right? Like, I mean, if you introduced a rated 1v1 mode with only DPS, you would see insane participation on that. Because it's an instant queue. It would just be boom, instant, boom, instant, boom, instant, boom, instant, boom, instant. I bet you that there would be tens of thousands of 1v1 rated matches played per day. Maybe hundreds of thousands. of rated 1v1 matches played per day because there's no queue time. There's no group building. There's no queue time. If you wanted to make a rated PvP mode that was all-time popularity, right? A rated 1v1 mode would be the one to do it because there's no queue. You're just in. It's a DPS only. You're in. I know for myself, at least with Delves, as soon as I didn't need them for the gear, I didn't do them anymore. I did like the challenge of Mythic Plus, though. But Delves didn't really have that. Delves is eventually, it's like a ceiling, and then it's just easy. You're just going in and just you wipe the floor with it, and I don't care about it anymore. I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to make PvP look popular and successful, going the 40 versus 40 direction is actually the opposite of what you should do. You should go 1v1, DPS only. And then all of the DPS that are occupying the queue times for these other modes would have something to do. And then those other queue modes, you'd have less queue density because the people would just be playing 1v1. I don't think they want to do a rated 1v1 because I think it's too intimidating. Right? Like in a battleground, it's a lot of people, you know, and it's not as intimidating. But I swear a rated 1v, like the biggest events, I mean, look at like the classic WoW dueling tournaments. Those are getting insane viewership. Like there's obviously a desire for 1v1. It's just not exactly the best balance. There's probably ways to go about that. Putting power-ups in the matches that, you know, some classes see and other classes can't, you know. It would be dominated by 3 classes, yeah, but the other brackets are anyways. And so is Mythic Plus. I mean, Mythic Plus is their baby, and it's dominated by 5 specs. That's literally what the game is designed around, and it's 5 specs. Every bracket is like that. That shouldn't be the reason to not make it. It wouldn't take away from Shuffle. It would just be people who don't have time to wait for a queue have something to do. Ugh, I'm going to be right back. Used to play 40 versus 40 is fine, but now you can't play it. Well, I mean, the spell density has increased significantly, right? I just feel like it's unfair. It's like, okay, Mythic Raid participation is going down. We're going to put the best gear in the game in the Mythic Raid. Well, I mean, if the participation's going down, you should just not be able to justify the resources, no? Like, it just feels like there's an unfair priority here. You missed the Coliseum? Oh yeah, the free-for-all? I think that should be a brawl, honestly. That WoD Coliseum. I don't know why it's not. Like, they paid to make it. Why not just turn it into a brawl? I mean, I would fully expect that the StarCraft game is going to be an extraction shooter. That's my expectation. No guarantee. But if they're trying to like keep on the trends, you know, I would fully expect that to be an extraction shooter. A pew pew. Kachu shooter. Well, a lot of my friends who quit for League or Heroes of the Storm wasn't necessarily because they were better PvP games. It was just because they could press Q and play the game. Like, they didn't have time. They have kids. They want to play WoW PvP, but they can't because it's not just boom, I'm in the game. It's I gotta buy the game, sub to the game, level in the game, gear in the game, and now there's a queue. I don't know. I don't think bringing back arena teams is going to do it, man. I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, but now you'd probably get banned for your team name and your arena team name. Oh, people were unhinged, bro. Everyone was anonymous back then. The internet was the Wild West, dude. Nobody gave an F. this? Oh my god, a game. I don't even know if that would work. Making a WoW 2 and shutting down servers for every other version of the game. I don't even think that would work. Does your ret need some Gladwins? Am I playing with freaking Cubsy again, dude?
Let's the best team win. Oh, who am I kidding? Give me a good show.
This is double ret. What the hell?
It's time for the show. Don't disappoint me.
Any damage here? They pieced it. Pull him away. This is actually a really hard lobby. Demon Hunter Resto Shaman in general is really hard. And I have to fight it like every game. The Froston, thank you for subbing. so much shit, bro. Oh my god. There's just 5 things that stop me from doing anything, man. Why is that out of range? Bro, the amount of stops in this game is so annoying. My trees just spawned on the roof. I hate demon hunters, bro. They're just unkillable little gnats. We definitely need to get hexes out of these Hodges. We'd win these games for sure. This guy's like pressing lightning bolt in our face. There's just 400 groundings and kicks, dude. It's so miserable, dude. I fucking hate fighting Shaman DH. Why are we hexing the ret? We just literally just one Hodge hex on the healer, and I swear we would get everything from the paladin. Like, he's doing it, but I can just decurse it, so I don't even, like, it's pointless for him to do it. But like, if my shaman hexes out of a Hodge here, it's GG. The ret will die. There we go. Oh, here we go. The 400 CC stops. Talladega 20,000. Dude, all the kicks and fucking random bullshit. I'm cooked. Oh, we just need a hot hexes out of Hodge. That's it. The win condition is just Hodge hex. Because the demon hunter isn't paying attention to anything except me. Hodge hex, I think we win. They're not. I'm either going 0-6 or we're gonna hex out of Hodges. Like, we won't win if we don't. There's no way. We don't have any CC. I can't get clones reliably. But hex should be easy to get. Yeah, you see right there? Like it's actually a joke to get hex, I swear. I don't know what broke it, but like everything is going into me. It should be a complete joke to cast hex. I think I'm done kiting also. It feels pointless. I think we literally have to just stand still and fight. I'm just dead in one stun, aren't I? I don't think I'm that worried before dampening gets up. There's just 400 grounds and 20 kicks, bro. Maybe I can't stand still. We'll see. I don't know, but I guess he can sank the Hodge. Nice hex. You got a dark with that, or is that mine? It's theirs. Try and run around here for a little bit. Nice, good hex on the I-beam. Ugh. Oh, I love this game, bro. I just can't move. I'm just rooted while he has blur up the whole game. Oh, there's just 400 grounding totems, man. These are probably the worst lobbies I've ever played as a Boomy. Matchup wise. I'm just a totem. Like, it's crazy. This class is not a target. He can just do whatever he wants. I think I'm cooked. Does he have Link? Well, we got Bubble. It's better progress than what we got before. But everything is just immune. I'm stunned again. Disarm, decurse. I'm just rooted. I'm cooked. I can't kite it. They have infinite stops. The Demon Hunter doesn't take damage. It's so stupid. I mean, I could try this, but I swear it's not going to matter. It's not going to do anything. I think the Demon Hunter should just 6-0 this lobby, but... I do think we might be able to sneak one of these games, but it's like off the back of the ret just being like AFK. I aured it. No, I feel like he's trying way hard to hex when he's like against me for some reason, but it's like pointless to hex when he's against me. We're getting it already further than the entire lobby with just one hex there. Okay, I'm gonna try and get kicks out of the way here with this casting circle. Oh, I got stunned on it. I don't really even know this is doing anything, man. It's already gone and there's a grounding. Did it really do a lot there, that casting circle? He might sank that. Is he not playing sank? Yeah, I swear the casting circle lasts like 2 seconds. Well, you can precog when I can actually kiss Claw. Dude, this is fucking dumb. Like, we're getting some hexes. Oh god, he's in meta again. I swear this talent is not worth it. They just let me cast it there. I'm still cooked. Like, I swear this thing is doing nothing. Oh my god. Pop bubble again, and then we're just dead while he runs at me while he's immune. Will it just fly at me like a jet plane? Oh, why am I incapped? Oh, we won. And we got hexes. It was absolutely integral. Now if I could somehow at least win twice with the Demon Hunter. At least I survive. I'm down. I'm gonna play run spec. What in the hell? Okay, he's playing the sprint talent. Cubsy wasn't playing it for a few rounds, so I'm just wondering if they're playing it or not. Swings this. Dodges me. I have skin, I don't think I'd do anything. Are they splitting? I should have triggered it. He triggered there. There's so many bubbles, dude.
So close. This just means more entertainment for me.
Oh my god, they're actually legitimately both bubbled. They might kill me here. I need Dark and Link. This is their last hurrah to win the game.
So close. This just means more entertainment.
Okay.
I did not expect this outcome.
So 3. I swear we could have won more. It's just I need the shamans to play like aggressive with the ret. Maybe it's not guaranteed to win, but I think more aggression. Do I enjoy AF more than Boomy? Probably, yeah. How's it grounding in range? I don't know how that clone didn't go off. Got a magic bop already, that's not too bad. Good hex. Oh, nice. Oh, I got raiding, bro. Oh my god. I got raiding. Well, they're double ret. They don't have Mortal Strike. I can just sit there. Demon Hunter, I just died doing that, though. Plus, it felt like my shaman had a good spot to stand, so I didn't really want to move unless it felt like I had to. Like that spot, I was able to clone their shaman. My shaman could stay out of range of CC, and I could do max damage to both rets. Oh my god, we're almost rank 1, dude. Do we have to go again, bro? Should I just go on Ellie? I feel like I need a break from Boomy. AF being better? I just feel like AF can move health bars better than Boomy can. I just like moving health bars, bro. I like knowing the buttons I'm pressing are moving the enemy's health. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's asking a lot, but that's just like, that's what I like. Ugh. I think you made the cutoff. That wasn't, no, rank 8. Rank 8 is rank 1. I don't think rank 9 is rank 1, is it? Unless there's alts. But I've been getting 0 rating the whole day on my Boomy. I'm happy to just gain rating in that lobby. I do think if the Shamans played aggressive with me in the first rounds, that we could have won. I don't know if we were sure going to win, but we could have won. I think the Hex out of Hodge is just so good because they're just tunneling me the whole game. And then the Demon Hunter Boomy is just brain dead. Like, we should just never lose the double ret. Like, we have Mortal Strike. I think the double ret's only chance is, like, globaling the rest of Shaman, and he's, like, AFK. I don't think double ret should beat Demon Hunter Boomkin. Wait, people didn't like Torghast because it was player power. But what's weird is they don't mind delves, and I feel like delves and Torghast are very, like, a lot of commonality, and people don't mind it though. So, like, what's going on? I actually don't think that lobby could have been that bad. I think if the Shamans hexed in the earlier, I don't actually think that would have been that bad. It's rough, but I don't know. It was really hard with 0 hexes cast because we just have no CC, right? Like, he's just sanking the Hodge, and then I get a clone like every 40 seconds through everything. If I'm lucky. I tried playing Disarm so that I could get Vengeful Retreat so I could clone him later so he couldn't immune it. It's like either he Vengeful Retreats the Disarm off or he can Vengeful Retreat a clone, but I don't actually know if I liked it. I think it might have been better to just play other talents. Is Haste here? Did Haste want to get Gladwins? Also, do we have a healer? We kind of need a healer. We need a healer up in here. Stop trying to turn an MMORPG into a single player game. I mean, it's inevitability at this point. People don't want to facilitate and maintain social connections in order to get loot dopamine anymore. They just want loot dopamine. And if you don't facilitate that for them, they'll play a different game that does. Fundamentally, as a video game, you're not even competing for fun anymore. You're competing for dopamine release. It's sad. I know it's sad, but that's the reality. Like, if you don't cater to the people for dopamine release, they will just go play something else because there's other games that do. Right? Like, they'll just play something else. We need to make a video about these class changes. I forgot. When did they change the ad structure so the ad shows up on the screen like that, man? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Super Tees video. And did you think the meta was settled for season 1? No. class tuning is incoming on July 21st, and unlike a lot of the other videos that we've been covering with patch 12.1, this is going to affect you on Tuesday on the reset, and these are PvP specific adjustments. So let's dive into this here. We've got some nerfs to Demon Hunter survivability. When they land an interrupt, they will now take only 5% reduced damage, down from 15. I think that's a fair nerf. I think a lot of those interrupt-based damage reduction mechanics are just like, it's just too much. Like, you're already kicked on your damage or whatever, and now you're just passively tankier. Glimpse is also going to have its damage reduction component reduced from 35% damage reduction to 25%. So when these Demon Hunters are backflipping all over the place, they're going to take a little bit more damage. I still kind of think Devourer and Havoc is still going to be pretty much untouchable to dot classes with these changes, unfortunately. I think their leech healing, their recoverability through dots in meta is still the main thing there. Like, these are nice, but I kind of think they're still not going to be a really big target. Mistweaver Monks, I'm surprised that they actually decided to do this one before 12.1, because I thought they were going to do it later. But they are nerfing the amount of healing that Way of the Crane will transfer from Spinning Crane Kick, down from 340% to 100%. So the spinning builds from Mistweavers aren't going to be hard counters to BM Hunters and to Unholy DKs. Now, that's a pretty massive nerf to Mistweaver, because that was a huge build for it and a reason it won like a lot of solo shuffle lobbies. Maybe this means the end for Mistweaver. We don't really know. But it's definitely very dangerous in those specific matchups where you had a massive advantage. This was a big issue. They are addressing it. I do have a little bit of concerns possibly for their overall viability without it. Time will tell. For Holy Priest, you guys are getting also some attention here. They're just buffing your damage on Holy Fire by 15%, but the direct, and then I think 27% on the dot. The dot is really small. The direct, I think, is going to be mostly noticeable. And then a little 3%. The 3% guy had to come in here for this possible final tuning round, of course. We had to get him in here. 3% more healing on the top there. Holy Priest is definitely the weakest healer. Damage contribution's an issue. Overall throughput's an issue. Honestly, I think its main thing is just all of its healing is based around healing output and not damage reduction. So in Solo Shuffle, where dampening reduces healing, it reduces the effectiveness of your entire class, whereas other healers have damage reduction, which aren't impacted by dampening. And most games are going to dampening in Shuffle, right? Although I actually like the pace once dampening gets pretty high, but for Holy Priest, they suffer the most because they don't have tools to combat against that. So like, this is nice. Maybe it enables them to win a little bit earlier, but with 3% more healing, once you get into dampening, that gets negated anyways. For Discipline Priest, they're buffing all of their healing by 3%, which is surprising because it's such a highly represented healer at the moment, and in my opinion, really strong. So I'm kind of surprised to see that. But Disc Priest stonks are going up. And Resto Shamans, you weren't forgotten this time around. They're buffing your Riptide by 15%, giving you a little bit more instant, direct recovery. So we see some of the underdog healers getting buffed, a minor amount of damage reduction around Demon Hunter, and then pet classes, you are free to roam. You are free to dominate the arena once again uncontested, because the Mistweaver Monks will no longer be countering you. I'm wondering why they didn't push the Prez Evoker changes forward as well that are happening at 12.1 with them, as crazy as they are as a flag carrier. Maybe it's just too much of a change for the class's operations, because it'll affect how they operate against slows in all capacity. Maybe that's why. But definitely good changes. I think good changes. And just a little bit of a tweak here. I mean, that shift on Mistweaver and Shaman could be pretty huge for these last couple of weeks. Like, if you're a Shaman player trying to push and you were struggling, I think this might be the time to get in there. But it's just a quick one here on this Friday, July 21st. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to see the interview that just happened with Ian Anzakostas and Mr. GM and a bunch of other creators involved with that, I did upload it. It talks about PvP in it, actually, which I was surprised. And a lot of good stuff, honestly, for PvP. And then maybe a little bit of disappointment verbiage for PvP as well included in that. So thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you in the next one. We're back into BFA meta. Yeah, but we have faster dampening at least in Shuffle. Peace out, Vanquish. May you vanquish your foes and reduce them to the folly. Oh my god, Asmongold got a girlfriend and now he's starting to put his life together, bro. He cleaned the toilet. He cleaned his toilet. Is she okay? What, like mentally or just from physically from coming in contact with the toilet? I don't believe it until he cleans his room. He's been hanging with Asmongold for years now. God damn, bro. So you can get away with a lot when you got money. You can get away with a lot, dude. That's why I need more Twitch Primes, because I need to get away with a lot. Can you guys please subscribe? Do, 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 do. Where's up, Haste? I just asked, did you have a healer? My new sink looks better than the whole house. The sink does look nice. I like it, yeah. It wasn't even that expensive. I think for him to install it and buy it was like $600 Canadian. That's like 400 bucks American. I don't have to do anything. I just have a very nice new sink. I feel like that's not too bad, no? I don't even know if it's bad. Is 400 USD for a new bathroom sink bad? Is that expensive? I never bought a sink before. Yes, IMO. Wait, it is expensive? Well, actually, I need to like renovate the whole bathroom because there's a water leak from the shower and the installation. Yeah, he went. So that was him going to the store, picking it for me. I asked him to pick it. He picked the perfect one. He picked it. He took the old one away as well. So like he paid for the sink. So he paid for the sink, brought it, took away my other one, and installed it. I feel like that's not bad. 400 bucks to do all that. No, I didn't have it already. He had to buy it. So I don't know how expensive it was. He didn't include it on the invoice. He just sent me a total with it. I literally don't know how expensive that toilet was. I feel like that's not bad. But that entire bathroom's gonna have to get ripped out at some point. Like at least the shower side. Because a little bit of water was squeaking down the bathtub where some caulk wore out. You can get it from Amazon for x66. People would charge 400 for the install. Yeah, I feel like 400 USD is not. That's not bad. I'm not unhappy, with, with the service I got and everything that he did. I feel like it was good. Oof. Alright, we got another YouTube video to upload here. Class tuning. All the, I used to type like hashtags, like hashtag World of Warcraft, but now when I type hashtag World, it's like World Cup, and World of Warcraft isn't even a thing. Do you think Unholy and Balance could work in threes? No, there's no Mortal Strike is the issue. It can kind of work in Shuffle because dampening compensates. You're up late? Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. The queue is kind of taking a while here. I was hoping to get like one LE game, but I feel like I might not even play that good. I've been streaming all day and it's been a lot that's happened and you guys have exhausted me by forcing me to rant so much. Should have kept receipts on like how long it took them to respond to like glaring issues that drove everyone out of playing PvP. Oh my god. Is that a game? Isn't it only two? Oh, I guess it has like a quasi MS, but it's not enough in like in threes to really compensate for not having a real one. Is the problem. Okay, we got notes incoming. You've been getting into solo bits so the queues take so long? Yeah. Queues can get rough. Domino's has revealed a new s'mores lava cake dessert with a gooey marshmallow filling. Ooh. Are we getting that on Pizza Tuesday? How do I make my Q-pop sound louder? I just increase sound effects in your sound setting. I don't know. I mean, they're trying to revive archaeology, man. Bro, why don't we just fucking... Why can't we get a world PvP system, which is like, this zone's under attack, go defend it. If you defend all these things, you get a mount or whatever. I don't, like, what? There's resources for archaeology? Out of, like... out of everything, there's resources for archaeology. Turn down ambience music and then put effects to max. There you go. Or just leave only effects on. Should we see if me playing Boomy there has changed my rankings on PvPQ? What's up, Avarian Studios? Multiclassers US. Oh my god, a bunch of other people have passed me. Who's Kitty Paws? Is this the same guy? Wait, why did my rank go down when I climbed? Is this not updated? I don't think this is updated. There's no way my score should have gone down. Is this counting like people like multiple rogues or whatever? Ian did say they rotate their focus on different modes over time, so if one starts getting neglected, it'll get a touch-up like they're doing for raids recently. They said raids haven't had an update since like WoD. They're probably going to lay off Mythic Plus updates, focus on raids and PvP now. I mean, hopefully, yeah. I just feel like that's stuff that, like, again, just needs to be communicated. I just feel like there's so many cool features you could add that would make PvP more fun. There's so many like cool ideas, like world PvP ideas and stuff. I mean, I swear that it should be like a weekly reward for PvP to go and attack Stormwind. You know what I mean? Like that should be one of the quests for your weekly rotation, right? Like, you know how they made this hub for world content and stuff in dungeons, and you get like this pop up and you can click which activity you want to do? Should be the same thing. Like, do you want to attack Stormwind, or do you want to complete world PvP's quest in the Void Storm, or do you want to do this here? You know, like there should be a window pane for it. I think they should consider taking the Warfront and turning it into an actual battleground also, yeah. Like you literally already have the asset. Like, what? I don't know why they wouldn't turn that Warfront into a battleground. The Arathi Basin one? There's some pretty cool bases in that. Would it take that much to convert it into an actual battleground? You would just attack a ghost town? Well, then maybe the other side can be defend Stormwind. You know what I mean? And if you defend it, you get X amount of conquests and blah, 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 whatever, you know? Okay, guys, I think I'm fried. It's gotten really, like, the heat is melting me. My brain is cooked. We put everything on the table. We survived hell lobbies. We got our Boomkin up and rating. We got our monks into elite range. We got some good YouTube videos out. We got some good news as far as updates for PvP with this most recent interview, which is great. Thank you guys very much for the support, as always. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bon voyage, my friends.